You're listening to The Alex Jones Show.
Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
You know, I'm going to do a special report on it, and really all that means is I'll actually dig up all the documentation, put it on screen. But I think I'm going to put together a special report this week or next week. In fact, I'm going to do it. Where we show the CIA founding Miss Magazine, the Pentagon declassifying by the 60s that they had funded through the Department of War, the suffrage movement, so that they could basically make women wards of the state. The entire Empower Women movement has turned them into pure sexual tart objects married to the state. Illegitimacy has gone from around 10% to over 50%. The prison population has exploded about 800%, depending on which numbers you look at. We are a cursed nation. Doesn't mean that I want to dial back women's suffrage. It's just that they will create a liberation movement not to liberate, but to create a new form of slavery. Just like they got rid of one form of tyranny, getting rid of segregation and Jim Crow laws, and brought in another one, even more evil, because it really can't be seen as easily. And then people's identity is in being slaves of the state and being racially based, the exact opposite of what Martin Luther King tried to get people out of. And I say that because I did tape the Super Bowl. And I got off the radio, drove home, had friends and family over. We had it on the background, watched the end of it. Very good game, according to the standards out there. My mom was sitting there watching it going, best Super Bowl ever. She's the big football fan in the family. I mean, we all grew up being football fans. I grew up in Dallas, for heaven's sakes, where it's like a religion. I think that's why I've kind of rebelled against it. And then after it was over, I went ahead and watched some swaths of it, and it was just pure anti-male garbage, anti-family garbage. You can see the theme. You've got T-Mobile ads saying, sorry, it's a boy when the baby's born. You've got Nissan with dad, the only good dad because he delivers his girl to join the military to be killed. You've got, that's a Nissan ad, well, that's a Toyota ad on the military front. You've got a, I'm going to go over all this today. It was simply mind-blowing how there was a unified theme going after fatherhood and implying that men existing suppresses women. They had a MaxiPad Always ad for feminine hygiene products where it's always like a girl. I mean, that's an incredibly rare statement that you fight like a girl, you swing a baseball bat like a girl, but they take that and rub it in to create animosity between men and women. That's all that's going on while the globalists rape us 7 ways to Sunday and are bringing in planetary government and bombarding women with estrogen mimickers that give them breast cancer at 3,000% what it was 50-something years ago. There's no discussion of empowering women by getting them to learn how to use guns or getting women into jiu-jitsu or boxing. No, the feminists don't want any of that. They want chicken-necked, cowardly, shaking women with their knees knocking together who are taught, henpeck men, make them do what you say, make them even weaker than you, and that's how you're strong. Make boys sit down to go to the bathroom. Teach boys they're bad. They should get Gardasil shots too. On and on and on. This is mind control. This is psychological warfare. So we're going to break all that down today. This will be a special report as we go over these clips, but I'm going to go in and get all the CIA documents, all the Department of War documents, the Edward Bernays documents. I'm going to get all these examples. I'm going to put a big report together showing all this. Feminism is to make you die alone. It is to make you by yourself, isolated, so corporate and government wolves can tear your guts out politically and then finally physically, and then suck you dry in a death camp hospital full of flesh-eating bacteria. That's it. It's a human reclamation center. The scoops are on the way. The scoops are on the way.
The government's Department of Homeland Security is buying up loads of ammo. At the same time, they're restricting civilians' rights to own and purchase firearms. Can you put two and two together? Infidel Body Armor can stop every round, including hollow points and .308 sniper rounds, is reasonably priced and fully legal. But for how long? Go to InfidelBodyArmor.com, spelled I-N-F-I-D-E-L, bodyarmor.com. Infidel Body Armor. Just won't quit.
When cells become toxic, they die early and aging sets in. No one has put together a formula that focuses directly on brain health, nerve growth factors, and optimizing your cellular energy at the same time. Just one of the key compounds, BioPQQ, is backed by major clinical studies. You want the best that's out there at the lowest price anywhere? We now have the synergistic solution. Secure your DNA force today at InfoWarsLife.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139.
What disaster is so powerful, it unleashes a chain of mass pandemics, economic meltdowns, and violent food riots, all at the same time? NASA has already set the countdown timer, and right now the 21st century apocalypse is less than 13 months away. Former CIA Director James Woolsey says 2/3 of U.S. population could perish. In a matter of seconds, the world as we know it will cease to exist. The world's economy will be wiped out. Mass riots will follow. Ancient diseases will reemerge. How will you shield yourself and your loved ones from this upcoming apocalypse? Go to darkestdays.info to find out proven methods of protecting yourself, your loved ones, and even your entire community when this worst-case scenario unravels. That's darkestdays.info. darkestdays.info. Go there before this life-saving information becomes unavailable to the large public. Go to darkestdays.info now.
For all of recorded history, civilizations around the world praised the health benefits of silver. At InfoWars Life, our mission is to bring you the highest quality, purest, cleanest, effective colloidal silver on the market today for the lowest price available. You don't have to be a doctor to know. The fall and winter months are the most dangerous time of year in North America when it comes to you and your family's health. InfoWarsLife.com is very excited to announce our biggest run yet of Silver Bullet colloidal silver, exclusively available at InfoWarsLife.com. Now InfoWarsLife.com has taken colloidal silver to the next level using a cutting-edge technique that is free of toxic artificial additives. Now more than ever, it's important to stock up on high-quality Silver Bullet from InfoWarsLife.com. No survival chest is complete without Silver Bullet. Secure your Silver Bullet today at InfoWarsLife.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139. Silver Bullet. Aborted babies incinerated to heat UK hospitals. Soylent Green, ladies and gentlemen, is made out of people.
But now children are literally being passed through the furnace in order to fuel hospitals in the UK. They're being sacrificed on the altar of efficiency and prosperity.
What is the secret of Soylent Green?
The powdered flesh from dead babies. Some people believe they can cure disease.
Because of its enormous popularity, Soylent Green is in short supply. Remember, Tuesday is Soylent Green Day.
The supply of Soylent Green has been exhausted. You must evacuate the area. Today is Tuesday!
The federal court ruled that the shareholders of PepsiCo, big Bilderberg Group company, are not allowed to know what they're using the baby parts for in the flavoring, but we already know. So enjoy the flavor.
We're going to get the real solution, which is going to be a combination of death panels and sales taxes.
I'm consistently pro-death. I'm for assisted suicide. I'm for regular suicide. I'm for whatever gets the freeway moving.
Is spending $1 million on that last 3 months of life for that patient, would it be better not to lay off those 10 teachers and to make that trade-off in medical costs? But that's called the death panel, and you're not supposed to have that discussion.
They told me to say that they were sorry. but that you had become unreliable.
Is this the kind of society that you want to live in? Any kind of society that would do this to its children will do it to its senior citizens. It will do it to its dissidents. That kind of society will also eventually turn on its police, on its army, on its prison guards, on the quislings and the collaborators who make that possible. This is nothing but a suicide cult.
The scoops are on their way. The scoops are on their way. I repeat, the scoops are on their way.
You will find out why Soylent Green means life. You will find out why Soylent Green means death.
We gotta stop them!
What is the secret of Soylent Green?
Soylent Green is people!
We're live, ladies and gentlemen.
Breeding us like cattle.
I'm your host, Alex Jones, on this live Monday, the second day of February 2015 global transmission. We have Marin Katusa, who owns copper mines and other mines around the world, founding director of Copper Mountain, Canada's third largest copper mine. Marin has been the chief energy strategist for KC Research for years, and he will be joining us, one of the most well-connected deal makers and successful portfolio managers in the energy and resource exploration sector. He's a mathematics professor. He left academics to apply his models to portfolio management. He's one of the most sought-after speakers of financial minds in the sector. He's a regular contributor to Business News Network, CNBC, RT, CBC, and Bloomberg and Forbes. He'll be joining us for a full hour today in the second hour to really give us his expert breakdown on where he sees the world economy right now and where it's going. Is it recessionary? Is it depressionary? Does he see any type of inflation in that mix? What's really behind the crisis with Russia, the saber-rattling, the proxy war in Ukraine? Marin Katusa has the connections, and a very powerful interview he did a few months ago with David Knight that a lot of big brains complimented us on. So this is an interview you're definitely going to want to hear coming up in the second hour today with Marin Katusa, chief energy strategist for KC Research. Let me just first off tell you that we're going to be breaking down the Super Bowl, obviously. That theme was anti-family, anti-father, but just bossy all around. Just like last year, the First Lady came out and said, don't use the word bossy because it means that women are bossy when she's being incredibly bossy and control freak. She tells you what to eat. She tells your kids what to eat. She praises different TV shows that she thinks are putting out a good message. She's basically our queen, our god, our goddess, our boss. This is the cult government we live in. They'd like to turn this country into North Korea, where we all thank Kim Jong-un every morning, or Hillary Clinton or somebody for the sun coming up. Better vote for Hillary or you're against women. So we're going to be breaking that down. It's just so insulting to imply that men don't love their daughters just as much or more than their sons. In my experience, more. They get spoiled more. I have two daughters. And they get given, basically, women in general, everything in society. And dads are out there with their daughters at softball games and baseball games and soccer games and are 100% backing their daughters, but not because they got lectured to do so by 5 different ads they aired during the Super Bowl that I caught. Notice it's thematic, though. There's an agenda, just like when Eric Holder got up there before the radio and TV convention, the outgoing attorney general who never left, he resigned 6-8 months ago. About 8 months ago, wasn't it? He said we need to literally brainwash people and be repetitive and never stop with our message on guns. And what's that? That guns don't save lives, that guns are evil, that guns kill children, that guns are the problem, not corrupt, bad people. So guaranteed, they had meetings where they said, what's the theme this year? You can see the theme everywhere. It's just every dad in a TV show is a gibbering idiot. Sitcoms, cartoons. Men in general are bad. Men in general are scum. Men in general have nothing to offer. And then men begin to see that image and think that's what's manly and begin to mimic it. And so women get to be alone and work 2 or 3 jobs and die alone. There is no team. There is no children. Or if there are children, mommy raises them, and your kids are 3 to 5 times more likely to be on drugs or in prison. But so what? What, are you attacking a single mom now? See, they've got it all set up where you can't even point out they're trying to destroy the human system, the human nuclear family, disdaining it as something disgusting and bad. Because the state wants to be the father, El Jefe. And everybody else is the state's hoe. And we're all to be pimped out. Men are to be emasculated. Women are to be destroyed in their powerful traditional genetic roles and reduced down to spies of the system. Bitter and unhappy, believing if they just serve the system a little bit more, that somehow Valhalla is just over the next hill. So we'll look at Always Feminine Products ad, Always Like a Girl. Toyota, My Bold Dad, presented by the bold new Camry. So they were given their walking orders to put out these anti-dad messages. So this is a twist on it. He delivers his daughter, and what I've said 1,000 times, to the state. This is really about delivering your daughters to the state. He raises her everything and then turns her over to the state as she's got her combat bag on to be deployed to combat. You don't get that bag when you're deployed to boot camp. You get that at boot camp. She's being deployed to combat. Just like Private Lynch, and they killed members of her team to cover up the truth that she cowered in fear, and it later came out it was to sell women on joining the military and for frontline combat. And that's only to get rid of frontline combat with humans. That's only to wreck the military and bring in machines that are already outperforming the drone pilots. The announcements have now been made. So Toyota did the only twist out of all the ads that looks like it's pro-dad, but only because he delivers her to the state as a sacrifice, a virgin to the gods of war. This is hardcore, folks. You want to talk about cabin in the woods? This is it, baby. Well, I'm not delivering my daughters to the state or my son to be sacrificed on your bloody altar. They're going to defend humanity, and if they have to, I know they're going to grow up straight and strong. They'll do whatever it takes to defend humanity in the info war or beyond. But we don't go join this system to then be given deadly vaccines and then be put on the enemies list as soon as they're out of the military and be put on death lists and not be given medical care. There's one thing still to sacrifice your sons to the state. That's always been done. But it's a new level to sacrifice the girls. Other cultures just won't give up their women. Only here in America is it a sacrament to do so on the bloody altar to Moloch. And you notice Pharaoh only called for the boys, the firstborn. See, this Pharaoh, this system, it wants it all. Because old kings and old kingdoms and old empires wanted big, strong masses of warriors. So they wanted women to bear them. Not anymore. Because the age of the computer and the robot is here. And the decision's been made at Davos and openly announced year after year. It's been announced in Wired Magazine. It's been announced by Microsoft. It's been announced by everyone. Back when I was first telling you it was not being announced, it was in white papers. Now it's being trumpeted that the age of humanity is over. The decision has been made to destroy us. And the first thing you do when you destroy us is you turn men against women and you disintegrate families. And you teach women through archetypal messaging and the sitcoms and dramas that dominating your man and then taking his money and kicking him out and breaking him is your great expression of power. And even mainstream news, they just showed one of the articles. In fact, print that for me. It says, my God, these ads are horrible. Ad after ad after ad about how dads are bad. Dads are just a side vestigial thing They just deliver the sperm. And, oh, did you hear? They can create whatever fake sperm they want, and, baby, you don't need him. That's right, and they don't need you either. The robot factories are being prepared. The robots that work on the robots, the announcements have all been made. And if they succeed in this system, the robot overwrite is 20 years off. The bioweapon releases, all of it.
It's no secret that government and big business buy in bulk and get huge discounts not available to the little guy. Until now. Introducing a breakthrough crowd buying website where people can join together, buy in bulk, and get massive discounts on millions of popular products. It's TogetherSave.com. TogetherSave.com. You can save 20, 30, or even 50% off tablets, smartphones, cars, appliances, textbooks, sports equipment, video games, and much more. All with free delivery. Check it out. TogetherSave.com. Visit now and start group buying today at TogetherSave.com.
My name is Dell, and I live in El Cajon, California. I was concerned about my cholesterol readings because I knew that high cholesterol is related to clogging of the arteries and increases the risk for heart attack and stroke. One day, I heard an ad for Heart and Body Extract, and I was skeptical, but I decided to give it a try. Man, the numbers don't lie.
Learn the secrets of an effective, natural, 100% organic nutritional supplement for a healthy heart and circulation at hbextract.com.
Used since before the days of the Roman Empire to support the body's natural systems and enhance overall health. Introducing the new InfoWarsLife.com oil of oregano formulation, a highly advanced nutraceutical form of this key herb that has been traditionally used by civilizations for thousands of years to promote health. We have now procured the most high quality and potent forms of oregano oil on the market, sourced from top leading manufacturers to ensure a concentrated level of bioactive ingredients. Extracted directly from the wild herb and sealed in easy-to-use capsules, you will no longer need to endure the burning of liquid oregano on the tongue. Wild crafted from the Mediterranean oregano species that experts agree is one of the most powerful and most challenging to acquire. This winter season, it's more important than ever to secure this true form of oil of oregano. Now available in our limited first run at InfoWarsLife.com. That's InfoWarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139.
When an emergency happens, you could be left to fend for yourself and your family. An outbreak of contagious disease can happen anywhere. Because we're faced with more diseases than ever before, we need a better solution than ever before. Fortunately, there is a simple, effective way to protect yourself. Supernatural Silver is a revolutionary silver solution that is clinically shown to be several hundred times more effective than colloidal or ionic silver. And it's powerful enough to help protect you and your family from deadly viruses, bacteria, and fungus. Supernatural Silver is effective against more than 500 different disease-causing pathogens without encouraging drug resistance and without side effects. Supernatural Silver is scientifically supported and is the #1 choice of thousands for improved health and immune system support. Go to supernaturalsilver.com and use the code SILVER2015 for 30% off. That's supernaturalsilver.com. Give yourself and your loved ones a fighting chance.
Attention all radio listeners. Survival Life is giving away free credit card knives exclusively to our radio listeners here today. Visit mycreditcardknife.com to see this covert knife in action and claim yours for free. It's the same knife you've seen in the airline magazines for $29.95, but today it's yours free. Just pay shipping and handling. mycreditcardknife.com, mycreditcardknife.com. Go now.
Worried about getting sick and feeling terrible for days or even weeks? You need Immudyne for a healthy immune system. Why get sick and bother with products that just don't work? For just $1 a day, Immudyne is all natural and safe for all lifestyles. Call 866-257-8668 to buy now before it's too late, before you get sick. Or go to IMMUDYNE.com, Immudyne.com, or call 866-257-8668.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back live. I'm Alex Jones, your host. You notice that I introed the start of the broadcast with that Soylent Green boil down, dovetailing the fictional dystopic science fiction movie from the 1970s starring Chuck Heston with real news clips concerning similar things now happening currently in real time. That's the backdrop, is that the so-called liberal spokespeople are always kill the troops, kill the infirm, kill the old people, abort the babies, infanticide up to age 3. British, Australian, and U.S. courts are saying pedophilia is normal and born that way. That's an article out today. It's in the New American Magazine. Does this sound like a group of people that care about the average person? Oh, they'll dangle old people and kids in front of us to pull on our heartstrings to like, oh, do our agenda, accept Obamacare, accept victim disarmament, accept planetary government, accept social engineering. It's for the children. And then we line up and do whatever they say. But they're psychopaths. They're control freaks. They could care less. They're punching our buttons, laughing at us, and saying, oh, here's 5 ads during the Super Bowl about how dads should behave. Dads, you need to be there more for your daughters. Dads, you need to make your daughters join the military. Dads, you know, it's bad that you had a son. On and on and on. There wasn't an ad about China killing tens of millions of newborn girls every year. Oh, no, that'd be politically incorrect because that's a communist regime. You don't criticize them. So I'm going to play these clips coming up in the next segment and do a whole report on this. When feminism comes to the Super Bowl, it looks like hashtag like a girl. How about an article, hashtag like a girl, showing women being trained how to use firearms? Oh, no. That's not how you empower a woman. No. And you don't empower a woman to understand how vital it is to find a male who understands the family is a survival unit designed to build wealth and strength and security and honor, and that it's dishonor that's destroyed us, and that this has been done scientifically. When you understand it's been done scientifically, how creepy is that? And that the average woman's identity is thinking men are screwing them over, and then the men have been taught to act like mindless thugs and watch football all day. While we're all being ruled over. So I want to open the phones up concerning the Super Bowl. You can give us your take on it. 800-259-9231. 800-259-9231. We're going to break down this information, play these commercials, and then take your calls. Then we're going to get into Obama. Says it's time to get vaccinated. Quote, get your kids vaccinated. They're trying to use this measles outbreak as a big hype, that it's you people that didn't get vaccinated that caused this, when it's clearly illegals pouring in, that's even in mainstream news, and those that have been vaccinated that are causing the measles. If that's buried in the articles that, yeah, these Disney workers had been vaccinated, we don't know why they got it right after they got vaccinated. Well, the stinking insert, kind of like gasoline. When you buy a gas tank, it says flammable, don't have fire or smoke around this. And you pull a cigarette out and light it when you're pouring gas, in your gas tank, and it blows up. And you wonder why it blows up. I mean, it says it can give you measles. And so what if you get measles? Whoop-de-doo. The vaccines are what you got to worry about historically. And there's another video up on prisonplanet.com and Infowars.com. He's done it again. Video, San Diegans want pets covered under Obamacare. And he says, yeah, people making $80,000 a year should pay for your pet. And the people are like, absolutely. And they sign the petition wanting something free. This is monstrously dangerous because you got to understand he's not cherry picking. You can go to any liberal area, really authoritarian, lazy blobs. They're not really liberals. And these people will sign to take your guns, to put you in a FEMA camp, to be forced labor for Democrats. I mean, these are lazy yes men, no intellectual acumen, no understanding of history. These are very dangerous people. That's why they're pushing infanticide up to 3 or 5 now. That's why they've got death panels, killing troops, not giving them health care. Nobody's coming to help them. They're going to keep murdering them en masse. That's why they got old people getting euthanized all over the West. because folks don't care about each other. The Republicans can't even ban partial birth abortion. And so they're going to abort your pension funds, they're going to abort your prosperity, and we're all going to be annihilated and enslaved if we don't turn this around by the total criminals that have taken over. Because we won't stand up for each other.
The empire's on the run.
They want to get rid of the family.
Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
You understand that? This is scientific. Year after year, we watch the threats steadily increase. And now, this winter has been the worst on record when it comes to our immune systems and health. For more than 2 years, InfoWarsLife.com has been watching this crisis intensify, and Ancient Defense Herbal Immunity Complex was our answer, using a proprietary process that takes ancient proven herbs and combines them with modern science. This powerful and affordable formula contains more than 14 key herbs and extracts, including echinacea, ginger root, elderberry, golden seal root, a proprietary yin chio formula, and many, many more. I take it, and so does my family. It's made in the USA, gluten-free, alcohol-free, no artificial flavors or colors, and not tested on animals. Take advantage of this introductory offer for Ancient Defense, normally $19.95, now only $14.95. That's 25% off. Visit InfoWarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139 to secure your Ancient Defense.
The average person's life is filled with unexpected challenges. Unlock the energy it takes to defeat these daily beasts with super male or super female vitality, specifically designed to assist the body in regulating proper hormone balance to create superior vitality in males and females. Supercharge and conquer your world at InfoWarsLife.com or call 1-888-253-3139.
The government's Department of Homeland Security is buying up loads of ammo. At the same time, they're restricting civilians' rights to own and purchase firearms. Can you put 2 and 2 together? Infidel Body Armor can stop every round, including hollow points and .308 sniper rounds, is reasonably priced and fully legal. But for how long? Go to InfidelBodyArmor.com, spelled INFIDEL bodyarmor.com. Infidel Body Armor. Just won't quit.
Used since before the days of the Roman Empire to support the body's natural systems and enhance overall health. Introducing the new InfoWarsLife.com Oil of Oregano formulation, a highly advanced nutraceutical form of this key herb that has been traditionally used by civilizations for thousands of years to promote health. We have now procured the most high quality and potent forms of oregano oil on the market, sourced from top leading manufacturers to ensure a concentrated level of bioactive ingredients. Extracted directly from the wild herb and sealed in easy-to-use capsules, you will no longer need to endure the burning of liquid oregano on the tongue. Wild crafted from the Mediterranean oregano species that experts agree is one of the most powerful and most challenging to acquire. This winter season, it's more important than ever to secure this true form of oil of oregano. Now available in our limited first run at InfoWarsLife.com. That's InfoWarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139.
Rallying patriots worldwide in defense of human liberty. It's Alex Jones.
So the big theme at the Super Bowl this year was, quote, feminism and the establishment brand of that. Women being worshipped, riding giant beasts, men bowing down to them, fathers being told they're not doing enough for their children and their daughters in ad after ad. It's systematic, it's pre-planned, it's pre-deployed. And there's big backlash against it. But the Super Bowl is one of the only places that still has a larger audience, over 100 million. Then you have every other major channel reporting on what happens during the Super Bowl, so it has that amplification factor. But to be clear, this is not feminism about empowering women. It's about ensuring that they're all forced into the workforce so that they can pay taxes, so families can be broken up, and so children can become basically wards that are raised by the state and by the iPhones and Droid tablets that are in the news today in a major pediatric journal, brain damaging children. Just one more to legions of studies This is a scientific takeover. Meanwhile, you take the political correctness of zero tolerance in a Texas town. This is in New York Daily News. We have an article up on Infowars.com. Fourth grader says he has the one ring. School suspends him for terrorist threat, dad says. Texas boy suspended for saying he could make classmates disappear with Lord of the Rings sorcery. And he looks about as sweet as you could ever be. The ring little Aiden brought to school may have been the true ring of power, but it had enough controversy to get him suspended from Kermit, Texas school. That's right. Tolkien lore led Texas boy to suspension after he brought his one ring to school. He wanted to come and play Ring of Power. I mean, I play all sorts of games with my 6-year-old who still likes to play make-believe stuff, where, you know, I'm Godzilla and she's a big robot and defeats me and blows me up. Well, she deserves to be arrested, I guess. See, it's thought crime. Play the violent video games, go see the movies, but the minute you say bang, or the minute you draw a picture of a gun, or the minute you even say you have a magic ring that can make you disappear, that's a threat. See, it's mind control, an obsessed, weird country where you don't know reading, writing, or arithmetic. You don't know who the founders were. You don't know common sense. Don't know what due process is. But you know, that's a threat saying you've got a magic ring. You're kicked out of school. You're like, well, that's crazy. That's over the top. No, it's not. It's totalitarianism. Again, we've seen many cases where kids are seen playing with Nerf guns in their front or backyard. The neighbor calls the school, and they're suspended, saying it's against policy, even though the policy isn't law and it doesn't extend to your home. Fourth grader suspended for bringing Nerf gun to show and tell. That's one article they found. The other one was school suspends boy for playing with Nerf gun at home. It's a power grab, people. It's social engineering. Remember what the Attorney General said to the radio TV convention. He said we need to brainwash the public and be repetitive and literally brainwash the public against the guns. Well, they're doing it against the family as well, creating some idea as men and women, husbands and wives, grandparents sit around. I mean, there I am with my mom, my dad, the kids, the family, and we've eaten dinner and we're watching the second half of the Super Bowl. And I'm pointing out propaganda and all this occultic garbage. And it's just attacking us. It's attacking the human unit that it knows it's trying to suck in. I mean, my grandmothers knew that the world didn't care about their families and that family came first and that it was an operation where people built each other up. And my grandfathers would do anything for their wives, and they'd do anything for their husbands, and they were on a team, and they were cool. And they had their act together. They wanted their sons and daughters to be strong. They wanted them to be successful and honorable. I mean, I look at women today compared to my grandmothers, they're a joke. They're a joke on average. I have one grandmother still alive at 90 years old. But just smart, tough as nails, sweet at the same time, very feminine but very strong, and not screwed up, realizing that they were there to hold a family together. And now, the average woman thinks she's on some football team against men when men are out of the game, brainwashed, brain damaged, totally destroyed, arrested development, gone. You watch any of these shows, the idiot guy gets the girls, which isn't how the world works. And the dad's always a moron and lazy. We all laugh at that and think it's funny. And they start out with images that are adorable, like an Archie Bunker. And by the time they're done with it, it's married with children. And then now the dads, every show, are a complete joke, a complete fool. And mom runs the show. And mom does what the state says. Gloria Steinem, in her book, admitted, and it was declassified, that Miss Magazine was started by the CIA to break up families. And to make women feel guilty if they wanted to raise the children and run the house. That's the cave. That's the base. That's everything. That is what you're going to work to get money to fund. And now they're reversing it, saying dads need to come in and help with the kids more, and mom's going to be the executive. And in most cases now, 65% of college graduates are women. Most of the low-level and mid-level executive jobs are now going to women by design. And then they go out and they all have artist boyfriends who are going to make it someday, baby, never buy them anything, never take care of them. And the woman sits there and treats them like a little boy. Even if they have a kid, he's the little boy. And she gives him the money, and just like I saw growing up in the black communities when I'd go over to my black friends' houses in nice neighborhoods, but also in the projects. Football, baseball, you name it. And I just remember, like, you never saw Dad around, and sometimes Dad would show up from work. He'd usually live with his mom down the street, and then he would come and give part of his money to the mama who was the boss. And that's if he even worked or wasn't in prison. And now that's the model. And you see these totally unfulfilled women freaked out. By the time they get about 40, they start looking for a real man. And let me tell you, there ain't many of them. You've been biologically robbed. I hope you enjoy it, because it's only the beginning. They robbed you everything you could have been, everything you would have been. Women are what empowers men and what empowers civilizations. And you take women out, you take down the civilization. Women are the heart, the beating heart of humanity. And look what's been done to them. Oh, we got some free Obamacare for you. It's always a free ride, isn't it? Think you got that free ride? Think you got some free vaccines, got some free birth control at Planned Parenthood? Before you take those subdermal time-release drugs, you need to look into what they really do to you. I'm not even going to tell you what they do to you. Go look it up. Just find out you're not getting a free ride. Just like the black community signed on to the Great Society and liberalism, and it's more than quadrupled illegitimacy, cut the jobless rate, it's expanded, it's doubled. Total breakdown. You think that was all just a little accident? This is a scientific plan. I want to go to your phone calls, but first let's play some of these clips. Let's play the Always Like a Girl ad by Always, which is, again, a feminine hygiene product, which implies that men everywhere are insulting each other, saying you're like a girl, when I have really probably never heard this statement other than Hollywood movies. And notice, they're always the one hyping racism and sexism in movies like it's really going on. So here it is. You tune in, and this is what you're bombarded with in a unified, and then the halftime show matches it, all unified propaganda. That's the big takeaway here. You're being propagandized. Let's go to that clip. The end of humanity is here. Could humans come together, realize the divide, realize the manipulation? I don't know. It's too fun to hear the epic music of the bad boys that want to suppress the little girls, creating guilt in them so they'll do what they're told by the women who are the policemen of the state, the social engineers. I mean, it's a fact. I've read Bernays' books. I've read the white papers. I've made films on it, the film Endgame. This is what's going on. Now, this is a twist on it because Toyota's told this is your job, you know, make it about moms and dads, make it about girls, make that the focus. And so Toyota comes out with this great dad that raises this great girl, but then he delivers her with her sophisticated ads. Because, again, it's not enough that men are out there busting their butt, working so hard. You know why companies want men? You know why men sailed the ships and did all that? Because when men start dying, men can continue operating. Men's brains are designed that way. And will stay on task. Women are designed to be able to take care of children and to process things and to try to have a happy society. But they're ending that whole world. And so they have to even attack men for going out and sacrificing and working so hard and staying at those jobs. They call it a glass ceiling because statistically women are paid 20% less than men. It's because women generally want to quit and have children. And it's because women want to take more vacation. And statistically, women don't want to stay as late. And I don't blame them. It's men that are meant to go out and not sleep for 3 days chasing down mastodons to run them over the side of a cliff to haul back enough dried meat that everybody survives to the winter. I mean, do you understand the journey that men and women have been through on this planet? Everything we did working together to survive, and then they claim it's all about men suppressing women and all about this great oppression. When women love their sons and their daughters, and fathers love their sons and daughters, in every culture, men were more valued on the surface because they stayed part of your clan or your group. And you loved them so much you didn't want to lose them. But if you had a daughter, they would then go join another group and leave you. And why did every society have that system? Because it's the only one that worked, ladies and gentlemen, and the establishment is destroying it, and notice society's falling apart. We're going to go to break and talk to Mark, John, Joe, Indigo Kid, and others that are patiently holding. I want to get your take on Super Bowl, halftime brainwashing, all of it. Briefly, we're going to end all the specials today. It always takes us a few days after the specials end to get them off. InfoWarsStore.com. The free shipping on ProPure and water filtration systems ends. The 45% off. The yearly membership at PrisonPlanet.tv ends. And a bunch of other specials end. I'm going to tell them to take it down tomorrow morning from InfoWarsStore.com and PrisonPlanet.tv. We've got a special. We're continuing 2 bottles of X2 Nascent Iodine with a free bottle of Ancient Defense Herbal Booster, Herbal Immunity Booster, InfoWarsLife.com, InfoWarsStore.com, or 888-253-3139. Look, scientifically directed anti-human behavior is going on. We need to come together as humanity, every race, color, and creed, and every gender, and defeat the tyranny.
It's very easy to be a criminal. All you need to burglarize a home is one simple household tool, a pair of scissors. If your home security system can be compromised by a criminal using scissors, then you're making it easy for them. Almost every home security system, even those sold by big-name companies, has a weakness: the phone line. You shell out $1,500, get locked into a long-term contract, and think you're safe. But a burglar can destroy your alarm in seconds with one snip. And when a burglar cuts your phone line, you're defenseless. Simply Safe Home Security is the smarter choice. Built by Harvard engineers, Simply Safe uses a wireless connection to call the cops. Scissors can't cut it, and that means your home stays safe. 24/7 professional monitoring is under $15 a month with no contract. Simply Safe Home Security keeps you safer than the other guys for half the cost. Protect your home with the alarm you can trust. Simply Safe. Go to simplysafedefense.com now for an exclusive 10% offer. That's simplysafedefense.com.
Hi, folks. Alex Jones here with some important information. I want to tell you about Matt Redhawk and his team of patriots over at My Patriot Supply. Several years ago, Matt was sitting in his 2-bedroom apartment, frustrated with the direction this country was headed and the charlatans willing to sell us out for a quick buck. Deciding to take action, a company run by patriots for patriots was born. My Patriot Supply has never taken a loan or accepted outside funding. They now operate 2 distribution facilities and employ over 50 hardworking American men and women. It is rare to find companies who practice what they preach. And that's why I stock my pantry with high-quality storable foods from My Patriot Supply. Go to mypatriotsupply.com/Alex today for special offers on emergency food storage, or call their preparedness specialist at 866-229-0927. That's 866-229-0927. Do business with someone who shares your values. mypatriotsupply.com/Alex.
Healthy elimination is essential to high energy, a cheerful mood, and prevention of disease. Some of the founders of our modern holistic health thinking state that disease begins in a toxic colon. The toxic intestinal tract is the foundation for virtually all degenerative disease, and a clean and well-moving intestinal tract is the foundation of health.
I just want to say that you folks have an amazing product. I've taken whey protein products for years, and I've never noticed the results I have with your product. I've suffered with bouts of constipation most of my life. Within a few days of taking One World Whey, I noticed a dramatic change. Also, in the past few years, I've experienced symptoms associated with diabetes. I feel horrible when I've had too much sugar, and I've been getting the foot pain as well. But I've noticed in the past week or so, I'm not feeling bad anymore, and the foot pain is gone. I'm just finishing up a 5-pound tub I ordered and just got off the phone ordering more. I love your product. Thank you.
Call 888-988-3325. That's 888-988-3325. Or visit oneworldway.com. That's oneworld, WHEY.com.
Joe Biggs, Infowars.com reporter, loves the Patriots. And he is so happy today, let me tell you. I wish I could tell the story he was just telling me. And the photos he was just showing me. You got to put those on Facebook, bro. Oh, man. Should have been out with him last night. Oh, boy. That guy's an animal. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, they don't want us to be animals, strong, virile, or feminine if you're a woman, human. They want to just, oh, it's bad that men are better at football. It hurts women. So let's have a bunch of ads about how women have value. It's like you can't tell one of your children, hey, you did really good on this test score. Oh, don't say that. Your other children don't feel thanked. They're going to be basket cases in life when someone else succeeds and they don't. It's like all this Dr. Spock stuff, don't discipline your kids. Look how screwed up society is now. This has all been done by design. And then is this freedom? Texas boy suspended for saying he could make classmates disappear with a Lord of the Rings sorcery ring if they put it on. Wasn't even a threat. This is the sickness. This is the world we're living in. These are not liberals. These are totalitarians. Let's go to Mark. Mark, you're on the air. Thanks for calling.
Mr. Jones.
Hey.
Mr. Murray. Hey, okay, so I had a few points that I was going to bring up, but after listening to you go on, kind of changed my mind about what I was going to say about the stupid bowl. You know, he's talking about it's all been done by design. I kind of want to bring up the point to all the listeners out there, and God bless everybody that's out there, by the way. The ultimate designer is Satan in all of this, and it's pretty obvious in the later chapters of Matthew, where he gets to talking about, Jesus gets to talking and describing and saying, you know, a house divided cannot stand, and that's the root cause of all these problems. And you take that and you look at some of the, I guess you'd say, the prophecies that he's talking about, looking for in the end of, you know, fathers will be against their kids, children will be against their parents. It's going to be this all-out, you know, unlawfulness, just completely.
Well, yeah, women will be against their husbands, children will be against their parents. You'll be enslaved, you'll be cursed, you'll be overtaxed. I forget which part of the Bible that is. We ought to find that verse. Bible verse, your children will fight against you, and then it'll pull it up. But it's absolutely what happens when we enter into this zone. Appreciate your call, Mark. Good points. Let's talk to John in New Jersey. He wants to talk Super Bowl.
Alex.
Hey, go ahead.
I haven't watched the NFL since they wouldn't let Rush Limbaugh buy a portion of the St. Louis Rams. It was full of baloney. But the best thing about last night was I had InfoWars to listen to in the meantime, and that was great that you were broadcasting. There were, you know, I started listening to you a year ago when you did your piece on Michael Savage's program when the Ukrainians and the Russians were coming into each other over Crimea, and I was so impressed with your knowledge that I've been a listener ever since. And I just got a couple of things. One is I want to compliment Rob Dew on his tech portions on the nightly news, man. They're great.
Thank you.
And the other thing is that I'm curious as to why such little reference is made to the revolution in the Philippines. That, you know, the whole society came against Marcos and his abuse of his power. And they did it without any bloodshed, and it seemed like that should be elevated as an example, because you're getting through, man. I mean, I'm sure there are a lot of people like me that would rather have listened to InfoWars last night and the nightly broadcast on Sunday, rather than watch the football game.
That's a good point. We should look at revolutions that have been successful. Thank you so much, John. Joe, Indigo Kid, and others. Calls are coming up. Stay with us.
Visit GCNlive.com today.
When cells become toxic, they die early and aging sets in. No one has put together a formula that focuses directly on brain health, nerve growth factors, and optimizing your cellular energy at the same time. Just one of the key compounds, BioPQQ, is backed by major clinical studies. You want the best that's out there at the lowest price anywhere? We now have the synergistic solution. Secure your DNA force today at InfoWarsLife.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139.
The average person's life is filled with unexpected challenges. Unlock the energy it takes to defeat these daily beasts with super male or super female vitality, specifically designed to assist the body in regulating proper hormone balance to create superior vitality in males and females. Supercharge and conquer your world at InfoWarsLife.com or call 1-888-253-3139.
You're listening to The Alex Jones Show.
Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
It's very simple. If we're going to be conquered by the scientific, technological elite that President Eisenhower warned us about in his farewell address, he said a technological elite that controls the military-industrial complex. They always cut that part out. If we're aware of their operations and if we come together on basic issues and stop infighting, it's over for them. That's why we can't have a peaceful revolution, is we're too busy fighting with each other. If there were no more white people, there'd be no problems. If there were no more black people, there'd be no more problems. Why, if the men weren't oppressing the women, there'd be no more problems. It's the same story. But the average person is all aware of that and obsessed with that, but they're not obsessed with central banking and how these elites get free money and we don't. I mean, there's all these other big issues that are the meat and potatoes of how the world works, and the average man or woman just knows all the political correctness. Even if you don't agree with it, you still know it, and it's still there. Joe in Mississippi, thanks for calling. Go ahead.
Hey, Alex. It's very convenient that the system is pushing all this vaccine stuff at this time, especially with the Disney outbreak. And, you know, it's not a law or anything except for in Mississippi and West Virginia. The only exemption you can get is a medical exemption. And it's having an effect on a group here in Mississippi trying to get the law changed to have a philosophical exemption.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it takes almost an act of Congress to get the medical exemption here in the state of Mississippi. And there's a recording of one of these officials, and he's very vitriolic. He's like, well, do you want your exemption or not? It's ridiculous. And so all this stuff comes up. You know, never mind. I'm sick of hearing all these people parroting all this garbage. You know, never mind that almost half the people at the Disney outbreak were vaccinated. You know, it's hateful not to have a philosophical exemption.
Well, that's what we've got to do, is get back in their face, because they're trying to bully us again on guns, on dads are bad, on vaccines. It's all part of this bullying and trying to get a bunch of idiots to get all hyped up and to get in our face. Great point. Appreciate your call. Indigo Kid, you're on the air. Welcome.
Hey, Alex. Happy New Year.
Welcome, sir. Go ahead.
I saw that picture of Katy Perry on your guys' site where she's like dressed in the flames, and then you have the guys as the robots. That's pretty much to me, trying to blend transhumanism with Luciferianism. And when you look at the transhumanist perspective, globalism seems to be like they want you basically to start a hate group to save the environment. So they want to like make you into a biological android so you propagate their propaganda. But I don't think that really works personally because you don't have the creative spirit behind you to actually create something that's real, so it's just an illusion. But I wrote a quick quote I wanted to read just because I watched that movie that you're part of, State of Mind, the other night. I've watched it a couple of times, and here it is. The enemy of the state may appear as a rugged individual, but true radicals are those who worship the state with which seeks to devour those within proximity, using their displaced sense of self-sacrifice as slow-burning fuel comprised of trafficked souls considered to be human resources. And I say displaced rather than misplaced, displaced sense of self-sacrifice, because when you look at the Tavistock Institute, the whole Prussian model of indoctrination rather than education.
Yeah, Pavlovian robots, they admit they were trying to build robots, and they were pretty much successful, and that's what this is. This is a human rebellion against being turned into a robot. DrudgeReport.com has some huge breaking news that I'm going to have condensed into an article for Infowars.com. We'll hit that when we come back. This is big, and we have a special guest. Stay with us. More calls coming up as well.
The government's Department of Homeland Security is buying up loads of ammo. At the same time, they're restricting civilians' rights to own and purchase firearms. Can you put two and two together? Infidel Body Armor can stop every round, including hollow points and .308 sniper rounds, is reasonably priced and fully legal. But for how long? Go to InfidelBodyArmor.com, spelled INFIDEL bodyarmor.com. Infidel Body Armor just won't quit.
When cells become toxic, they die early and aging sets in. No one has put together a formula that focuses directly on brain health, nerve growth factors, and optimizing your cellular energy at the same time. Just one of the key compounds, BioPQQ, is backed by major clinical studies. You want the best that's out there at the lowest price anywhere? We now have the synergistic solution. Secure your DNA force today at InfoWarsLife.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139. For all of recorded history, civilizations around the world praised the health benefits of silver. At InfoWars Life, our mission is to bring you the highest quality, purest, cleanest, effective colloidal silver on the market today for the lowest price available. You don't have to be a doctor to know. The fall and winter months are the most dangerous time of year in North America when it comes to you and your family's health. InfoWarsLife.com is very excited to announce our biggest run yet of Silver Bullet colloidal silver, exclusively available at InfoWarsLife.com. Now, InfoWarsLife.com has taken colloidal silver to the next level using a cutting-edge technique that is free of toxic artificial additives. Now more than ever, it's important to stock up on high-quality Silver Bullet from InfoWarsLife.com. No survival chest is complete without Silver Bullet. Secure your Silver Bullet today at InfoWarsLife.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139. Silver Bullet. Year after year, we watch the threats steadily increase. And now, this winter has been the worst on record when it comes to our immune systems and health. For more than 2 years, InfoWarsLife.com has been watching this crisis intensify, and Ancient Defense Herbal Immunity Complex was our answer, using a proprietary process that takes ancient proven herbs and combines them with modern science. This powerful and affordable formula contains more than 14 key herbs and extracts, including echinacea, ginger root, elderberry, golden seal root, a proprietary yin chio formula, and many, many more. I take it, and so does my family. It's made in the USA, gluten-free, alcohol-free, no artificial flavors or colors, and not tested on animals. Take advantage of this introductory offer for Ancient Defense, normally $19.95, now only $14.95. That's 25% off. Visit InfoWarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139 to secure your Ancient Defense.
He's the T-Rex of political talk. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
At the bottom of the hour, Marin Katusa. He's a big mine operator worldwide, portfolio manager, KC Research chief energy strategist. He's going to break down the news behind the news, what's really happening in Russia, oil prices, and more. We're going to continue with your phone calls now with Raider, Vincent, Walt, another Vincent, Chris, and others. I don't think I've ever seen two Vincents on the board at the same time. So that's just some of the calls that are coming up. I just spent most of the last hour getting into the anti-male, anti-family, quote, female empowerment message put out by the big mega corporations that could care less about you and your family. This is all about more infighting, more balkanization, so that we can't ever come together against the New World Order, who is creating an unsustainable economic system that's meant to end civilization as we know it. It's called Agenda 21. And that's only one part of the larger eugenics plan. But before I go back to your calls, I want to get into some of this news. Now, I've been harping on this for years. And we discovered in the middle of last year, or about 5 months into last year, with our reporters, Jakari Jackson and others, Don Salazar and others down on the Texas border, that in McAllen, Brownsville, and other areas, we were told this by our ICE tipsters, that they bring the illegals in by the millions every year, load them on buses, give them vouchers, and then send them to Democrat-controlled areas where each family's paid $7,000 a month, or in some cases $8,000 a month, to take 3 illegals and then get them all their fake IDs. Then the feds give them work permits and actually hire them. In many cases, the feds hire them themselves. There's the headline with video. City official admits Border Patrol fronting cash to bus illegals anywhere in the U.S. And the Border Patrol came out and said, yes, we complete the smuggling process, close quote. This is totally illegal, outside of law, a huge covert operation like Iran-Contra was. She says an example of a secret operation. This is not passed by Congress. This is totally illegal. We have the video and the photos of buses and vans being loaded. Any other media could go down to the Texas border right now and go to Brownsville, go to McAllen, go to the bus terminals, and it's happening right there with the Border Patrol. And the Border Patrol will come over and say, turn your cameras off, because they are so freaked out. They're following their treasonous orders. Well, now the Center for Immigration Studies did a FOIA and finally got the documents. This is out of National Review, Breitbart, and several other reports. They're red linked on the left-hand side of drudgereport.com is the best place to find them, drudgereport.com. We're going to have a whole article done on this, and I want this to lead the nightly news tonight, folks, about Obama criminally opens the border. You know, bombshell documents prove treason. Border opened, illegals legalized by fiat. I mean, this is sensational. It took the New York Times 3 months to run a report admitting very quietly that, yes, we talked to federal officials. They've ordered outside of law that the illegals be legalized, not just the kids. This is the end of the country, folks. They get welfare instantly when they get here. They vote over 90%. They're given illegal ID cards. I mean, I guess they're legal. They go and vote illegally. I mean, this is game over. I mean, you understand, this is bold. Report, federal government issued nearly 5.5 million work permits to foreign nationals just in the last 5 years. More than 5.46 million foreign nationals received work permits from the federal government since 2009, according to a new report from the Center for Immigration Studies. Data uncovered from U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services agencies revealed that approximately 982,000 work permits were given to illegal immigrants and other foreign nationals unqualified for admission, most of whom crossed the border without inspection. USCIS and the agency with the Department of Homeland Security responsible. Now, wait, you think that's bad? You think that's bad? Look at this headline right here. This is the one I really need you guys to print. 18 million. That's in Daily Caller. 18 million total new foreign workers since 2009. 18 18 million. See, they used to always say there's 15 million illegals. Or no. From ICE, we've been told it's more like 35, 40 million. And ladies and gentlemen, this is just the beginning as the third world collapses. In 5 years, 18 plus million. So far, 18 million foreign students and workers, including many university-trained workers, have jumped into the U.S. economy since Obama was inaugurated. And in almost every case, they just issue it in a secret shadow immigration system, is the quote in the document. Shadow immigration system. See, they have to comply with all these foreign UN treaties, just like the Pacific Partnership they're trying to ram through secretly right now. And that's their excuse. Oh, well, we have a treaty. Let's keep it secret. So it's a whole giant secret government. We were told in January by Border Patrol that illegals were being brought in. And to get down to the border, it took us 3-4 months to get down there and document it. Can you imagine what else is going on? Here we are a year later. And now we learn what we could already tell. I remember it was about 6 years ago, they had a bunch of fake meatpacking plant raids where they arrested a couple thousand illegals. And then it came out a few weeks later that the feds took them right to ICE, gave them green cards, work permits, and then drove them back a day later to the meatpacking plants. It was all for public consumption. And I can't go to Guatemala or Nicaragua or Nigeria or Taiwan, not a third world country, but I can't go there, and just instantly get free welfare, have a baby for free, everything taken care of. And then these immigrants go and complain at the White House they're not getting enough. That reminds me of this next report we're going to play. I'm going to go back to your calls. This is up on Infowars.com. This is not cherry-picked. San Diegans want pets covered under Obamacare. We're going to go to this clip in a moment. Americans signed a petition to force higher earners to pay for their veterinarian bills. Yeah, people making $80,000 need to pay for your pet. That's right. Let me sign that. That's the mindset, folks. This is so sick, and it's only being done until they get a big client group in place. And then total tyranny. They will vote in total dictatorship. They will vote to take everything you've got, your pension funds, you name it. Black, white, Hispanic, they're all the same on the inside, dumber than a box of rocks, lazy piles of slag. Let's go to this report. It's at Infowars.com.
Just a quick signature to support the veterinarian, Affordable Care Veterinarian Act. It's like Obamacare for pets, basically, so you won't have to pay for your pet's care
white
anymore.
Woman,
it's
white man.
In addition to the Obamacare legislation, just print, birth date, and a signature. Just because you own a pet doesn't mean that you should have to bear the burden of all these veterinarian bills. So the Obamacare for pets will help to just kind of take care of that. Yep, and a signature to support the Obamacare for pets. Thank you very much. Just a quick signature there to support the program. Just print, birth date, and a signature. Just because you own a pet doesn't mean that you should have to pay the veterinarian bills. When somebody out there is making like $80,000 a year, they can help you pay for the veterinarian bills and take care of your pets. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I got 2 dogs.
You got 2 dogs? Yeah. I mean, look, they need veterinarian care. And if somebody's out there making $80,000 a year, why should you have to pay for your expensive veterinarian bill, right? Obamacare for pets. It's the
and they sign it. He's like, yeah, I got dogs. I need them. Yeah.
Thank you very much for supporting that. Since Obamacare has brought everybody health care, this will add veterinarian care as well. Yep, birth date. I forgot.
This is a trendy, trying to act cool. He has a baby in his arms.
Yeah, this will add veterinarian care to everybody's Obamacare.
Just trying to act weird, trying to act different.
Yeah. You know, if you have a pet and it
totally
needs
empty and dumb inside.
Veterinarian care.
Hey, you're going to get some free stuff. Let's put Alex in FEMA care.
Thank you very much.
That sure sounds good. Yeah.
It's expanding. It's an addendum to Obamacare. So that way people's pets can have free health insurance. So just print your name there, birth date, and a signature. A lot of people don't think that we should have this sort of socialized medicine, particularly for your pets, but this will support Obamacare for your for your pets. Just because you have an animal doesn't mean that you should have to really pay for that, right?
And of course,
and
in the real world, it wouldn't even be free health care. It'd be like doubling the price of the vet care. They don't care. As long as you tell them it's free, they don't care.
You know, we thankfully have Obamacare now, and this will expand Obamacare into the veterinarian world. So it's Obamacare for your pets, basically. A birth date there and a signature to support Obamacare for your pets. You know, if you have a pet and somebody else is making $80,000, $90,000 a year, they can help you pay for that, right? Thank you very much.
Yeah. She's, I want their money,
You know, if Fido needs some surgery or something, I mean, why should you have to bear the burden of that just because he's your pet? You know, we can add him now to your health insurance on Obamacare with this affordable veterinarian
And imagine
care
how expensive it would get if they did that.
For pets. So appreciate your support.
Big ripoff.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. I want some free.
Appreciate it.
That's a real American right there. But he's a football fan, though.
Just stop right now. We need 2 more signatures for it's the Obamacare for pets, basically. It's the Affordable Care Veterinarian Act. It's the final addendum to Obamacare. Just print there, birth date, and print there, birth date, and the signature.
Is this like it's
to expand it. It's to expand it for veterinarian care, basically.
Oh, he wants that. Oh, free deal, really?
And you need
veterinarian. Turn it off. The full video's up on Infowars.com. These are not cherry-picked. We can do this in Austin as well. That's in San Diego. These people are begging to be enslaved, and they have been. They're begging. Calling in, you're on the air.
Thanks for having me. It's been a while. It's good to talk to you again. I hadn't called in a long time, had a busy work schedule, but just happened that where I work, the power went out, and we only got to work half a day. So,
well, welcome, brother. One of those evil guys working.
Yeah, they taught me the wrong bag of tricks, I guess. I should have applied for social services or something.
Exactly.
But I had a question, and this is probably old news. You may have video of it yourself on the Ukraine issue.
Is it the video of the U.S. citizen soldier, East Coast accent, saying "Get out of my face"?
No, I don't. I haven't seen that one. But you know, for those listeners out there who frowned at you for having Lyndon LaRouche on air, that might be my fault. I was the one who suggested to their staff that he contact.
Well, I think we should have Lyndon LaRouche back on. I don't agree with some of his ideas, but I agree with his analysis. It's a really smart, interesting fella.
Yeah, I agree a lot with what he's saying. I don't know if I agree with every little detail.
Sure, exactly. But I mean, what's your point though overall though that you wanted to make?
Well, they sent me material videos in January of last year. They had a press conference. I think it was with Natalia Vitrenko. I believe it was in Paris. I think it was called the Paris Socialist Party had this press conference, and they showed video. These people who were from the Ukraine, how these neo-Nazis had been trained to antagonize the Ukrainian police and throw Molotov cocktails, all types of stuff. I mean, it was very violent.
Sure, that all came out that the West funded all that.
Yeah, and I'm guessing that it was George Soros's money that went into that. And
well, Soros brags that he quarterbacked the whole thing, Vincent. Good to hear from you. Glad you brought that up. It's important. Chris in Kentucky, you're on the air about the Super Bowl. Welcome.
Yeah, hey, Alex, I tell you what, I'm just disgusted at the conditioning, what they've done. Did you hear about the massive helicopters, how people are going to be safe? They're going to scan faces, making sure there's no terrorism, putting a fear factor in it. It just made me sick.
Yeah, don't worry. The helicopters are scanning your faces to keep you safe from ISIS that our government openly created.
Oh, isn't it amazing? Yeah, and there's just these massive conditioning. I just get so sick of it. I don't even. People ask me, "You going to watch the Super Bowl?" I said, "No, I'm not going to watch that. It's so corrupt as it is." They look at me really
it's police state conditioning. It's anti-family conditioning. I mean, it's just a total agenda that you'd get in some dystopic nightmare movie, not in America, and it just shows. that you've got a dumbed-down population that's like lambs to the slaughter.
Exactly. Oh, did you get a report about the CEO, the head of Wounded Warriors is an anti-gun? I heard it on this network this morning. I'm
going to have to look into that, but if it's true, that's just unbelievable.
Yeah, just look into that. Have one of your reporters or somebody.
I know this. Their specialty is conservative and libertarian groups that raise money, and then it turns out it's going to anti-gun groups. Like, when I first talked about that 20 years ago, people didn't believe me about United Way and Red Cross, but now it's been in the news. About half the money you give ends up going to basically globalist, anti-family, anti-gun, pro-abortion stuff. It's like the breast cancer societies and groups that end up being connected into the Planned Parenthood. I mean, they know how to siphon our money. And Red Cross and United Way are some of the biggest funders of folks trying to take our guns. And there's my grandma writing checks to them, and she doesn't know. And I got to go tell her, hey, they're not good people. And I got to show her news articles about it. So I don't know that's true. I'm not saying it isn't. Guys, look into that Wounded Warrior CEO. Just search Wounded Warrior CEO anti-gunner. But you know what? It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, there's just no end to it. They'd love to get vets to give money for other vets and then have it go to take our guns. I mean, that's exactly how they operate. It's like Bill Clinton gets, Haitian children money and then keeps it for gun control. We ought to be pleased he keeps most of it for himself instead of just for gun control. Anything else, Chris? I guess you're gone. All right, Walt, Vincent, Alan, and others, your calls are coming up. But first, a guest, a top expert on energy and what's happening with Russia straight ahead.
We're on the march. The empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
Used since before the days of the Roman Empire to support the body's natural systems and enhance overall health. Introducing the new InfoWarsLife.com Oil of Oregano formulation, a highly advanced nutraceutical form of this key herb that has been traditionally used by civilizations for thousands of years to promote health. We have now procured the most high quality and potent forms of oregano oil on the market, sourced from top leading manufacturers to ensure a concentrated level of bioactive ingredients. Extracted directly from the wild herb and sealed in easy-to-use capsules, you will no longer need to endure the burning of liquid oregano on the tongue. Wild crafted from the Mediterranean oregano species that experts agree is one of the most powerful and most challenging to acquire. This winter season, it's more important than ever to secure this true form of oil of oregano. Now available in our limited first run at InfoWarsLife.com. That's InfoWarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139. Year after year, we watch the threat steadily increase. And now, this winter has been the worst on record when it comes to our immune systems and health. For more than 2 years, InfoWarsLife.com has been watching this crisis intensify, and Ancient Defense Herbal Immunity Complex was our answer, using a proprietary process that takes ancient proven herbs and combines them with modern science. This powerful and affordable formula contains more than 14 key herbs and extracts, including echinacea, ginger root, elderberry, golden seal root, a proprietary yin chio formula, and many, many more. I take it, and so does my family. It's made in the USA, gluten-free, alcohol-free, no artificial flavors or colors, and not tested on animals. Take advantage of this introductory offer for Ancient Defense, normally $19.95, now only $14.95. That's 25% off. Visit InfoWarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139 to secure your Ancient Defense. In the near future.
When you realize how fake it all is, the football, the basketball.
Alert. Security alert. This is Homeland Security. Analysis. InfoWars building independent media operation.
You let the worst people get control and tell us that we are the ones responsible.
Prime directive. Discredit Alex Jones.
Jones is the wildly popular conspiracy theorist.
It's a popular conspiracy theory talk show called InfoWars.
Alex Jones is now in an Austin jail.
These people are assaulting us.
Targeting of patriots engaged.
They are never going to stop. They're never going to deviate from their program until we stop them.
Block free iPhone app at Infowars.com. Block free podcast and video feed. Imperative. Destroy Prison Planet TV.
You gotta set your eye on the enemy, not worry about what propaganda they put out. Intellectually, it's begun and you can feel it.
Waging War.
Waging war on corruption. It's Alex Jones.
It's the time of the season when love runs high.
Marin Katusa wrote this book just a few months ago. It's just now coming out. David Knight thinks it's one of the best he's ever read. That's why the copy I've got's got a whole bunch of notes in it. The Colder War. I haven't read it yet. I've scanned over it. He's the head of Casey Research, energy strategist. And I really look forward to having him on. Colderwar.com, CaseyResearch.com. Marin Katusa is going to be joining us here in just a minute or so. Then we'll continue with a host of news I haven't gotten to yet. Forced inoculations being pushed. Some special reports in the next hour. Briefly, we have January specials that are going to end. It's obviously February 2nd now on this Monday edition. Usually takes us, as you know, a few days to get specials down. I came in today and I said, yeah, I intended to run that for a few extra days. Take it down tomorrow night. So if you want to get free shipping on all the water filtration systems, plus 10% off with promo code WATER, take advantage of getting your ProPure G2 gravity-fed stainless steel systems. They annihilate the side-by-side comparisons in the studies. They annihilate in the video taste tests we've got done downtown Austin. They're just really high quality. We also have the clearly filtered systems that are excellent as well, but are even more affordable. InfoWarsStore.com. Promo code WATER to get 10% off. We always have that special. But you get free shipping right now that is a huge value when it's a water filtration system. Very easy to use. Takes a few minutes to put together. And you can be drinking really high-quality purified water that side-by-side annihilates the competition. So InfoWarsStore.com. Also, you can get roughly 45% off a yearly membership right now. Instead of $5.95 a month, it's basically half of that. It comes down to 12 cents a day per person because 20 people can use each membership. It's normally $54.95. It's $29.95 right now. That's $250 a month per membership instead of $5.95 a month. And you can have 20 people use it. That's 12 cents per person per month. Please become a PrisonPlanet.tv member today because we won't have this special again until next Christmas into January. PrisonPlanet.tv. Want to thank all of you that are PrisonPlanet.tv nightly news subscribers. You're funding so much of what we're able to do here every day. That's about to end. There's a bunch of other specials at InfoWarsLife.com that will end tomorrow. We're going to keep the special going while supplies last of 2 bottles of Nascent Iodine X2, the highest quality out there, the good halogen. When it's done for me and others, you've heard the rave reviews. It's just amazing. With a free bottle of Ancient Defense when you get 2 bottles of Survival Shield Nascent Iodine at InfoWarsLife.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139. And we're not like MSNBC, as I've said 1,000 times, that gets stimulus money to then push anti-free market, anti-gun garbage. We're not like NPR that gets $400+ million a year and then sits there and spews all this anti-family garbage. We fund ourselves with sponsorship and high-quality products we sell. Let me give you a little secret. The truck, made in the USA, all of it, the fabric, the printing, everything, on the long sleeve, Molon Labe, modern camouflage pattern, is about to come in. We're going to put it back on the shopping cart in the next hour. This time we did a triple size order. It's still sold out the last time we did in a matter of days in the extra larges and XX larges. It's a super handsome shirt. People love it. And I just told them, well, the truck's coming. Go ahead and put it up for sale. It's going to go up for sale at InfoWarsStore.com in the Made in 1776, Made in America section. So the Special Forces style Molon Labe, Infowars.com on the back, American flag on the arm. These are really popular. They look great. This is the most popular shirt I've ever worn in public. People love it. And it does sell out very quickly, except in like small for some reason. We have more of them almost here from the factory on the East Coast. So the truck's a day away. You can start ordering InfoWarsStore.com right now, and that purchase, again, funds the operation, so we thank you all for your support. Joining us is Marin Katusa, Chief Energy Strategist, KC Research. He was a mathematics professor before he left academics to apply his models to portfolio management. He's a sought-after portfolio manager and a sought-after speaker. CNBC, RT, CBC, writes for the Business Network News. And he also is the founding director of Copper Mountain, Canada's third largest copper mine. And he's chief energy strategist for KC Research. Over the years, Martin has been involved in raising over $1 billion in capital for early stages and producing resource companies. So he is a true trailblazing entrepreneur. ColderWar.com to break down his book. Sir, thank you for coming on today. I want to get into Russia, the inside baseball, where energy policy is going, what's happening with the oil war. Thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
Well, you've got the floor. Start breaking down where we are right now from an inside perspective.
Alex, it's very scary what the West, America, the European Union, they're starting to play Russian roulette. And Putin is not backing down. He's putting more forces to eastern Ukraine. And now Obama's leaked some documents stating that the Americans may supply lethal artillery and weapons and manpower. So more boots, more American weaponry in Ukraine. You don't want to put more sanctions on Russia because now Greece has vetoed these. But more importantly, the existing sanctions have pushed Russia and China closer together than ever before. They're doing hundreds of billions of dollars worth of deals, the largest construction project in the world. And all this is doing is uniting the Russian bear and the Chinese dragon, and that is the worst possible outcome for America and the West.
It's a very bold strategy to send in CIA commandos and others to be engaging the Russians in combat the last 6 months. That's basically admitted $5 billion to overthrow the Ukrainian government. I don't have a dog in the fight here. It's just clear the West is instituting and instigating all this. Sure, they're hurting Russia right now, driving down the price of oil, but long term, this is a really dangerous game. What do you think the Western powers are thinking?
Well, it's all about the NATO expansion. It's trying to expand Europe, the European Union. The EU is broke. Greece now, a real insignificant country when you look on the global scale and by no means is a superpower, is now dictating the terms of the sanctions against Russia. So you can see the European Union is a basket case. And, America is now being drawn into this because of the EU, and there really is nothing here positive for the average American here. The Ukraine conflict's getting worse. It's going to get worse. It's going to last longer, and it's just going to be a drain on the U.S. economy.
Well, when the West attacked Russian-held areas in Georgia, they miscalculated and the Russians poured in and threatened nuclear war in Europe. I mean, if Russia's not backing down and the West isn't backing down, what are the policymakers thinking? It's not like Russia's on our southern border attacking us. We're attacking them.
Exactly, and the worst part of this, now you look at the Russian population within the eastern Ukraine. This is a secession war. This is not a civil war, and they want to join Russia. Look at Crimea. Putin has now hinted that because Crimea is now part of Russia, they have the sovereign right to move their nuclear weapons to Crimea, which is just on the edge of Europe. So there's a lot of risks here. And the difference is the Russian people are solely behind the Slavic warrior Putin. They defend what Putin is doing. They are proud of what Putin is doing because they see him standing up against the West. The question I have is, Obama's got 2 years left. What is the future foreign policy here? If the new president continues this failed foreign policy, it's just going to be a lot worse for Europe and the U.S. And the Russians here have nothing to lose. They have an expansionary program, and they're fit to fight, and they plan on fighting. They're not going to back down. So the question is what's the West going to do now?
Well, they just push and push and push because the people running the West are not Americans like a John Wayne or a Ronald Reagan. They want to export George Soros tyranny back to Russia. They want socialism for the general public and their own crony system above it, controlling it. And they're turning al-Qaeda loose all over the Middle East. What do you see in the grand strategy worldwide happening right now? What's the grand strategy? What's happening with the driving down oil prices? Break down your book for us, The Colder War, how the global energy trade slipped from America's grasp.
Alex, you're nailing all the most important parts here. I find it shocking that Obama and his wife go to Saudi Arabia, and King Salman, the new king of Saudi Arabia, in our book we have a chapter called The Shaky House Assad. How come no one's really talking about the truth of who King Salman? He was funding the Afghani extremists that the Americans were fighting. He was funding the Bosnian Muslim extremists that the West fought against. This is chaos, and now they're trying to show him as a great leader, as a moderate. That is all false. If you look into the past of King Salman, he was the financier. He was the point man for all of the funding of what today is ISIS. ISIS is getting stronger. Obama came out today and said, hey, let's relax. You know, ISIS is not that big of a deal. Really? Ask the Japanese if ISIS is a big deal or not. ISIS is getting stronger. The Saudi Arabia, there's very vulnerable here. The price of oil is collapsing. The Bakken, the Eagleford, hundreds of billions of dollars of debt. We haven't even seen the debt roll over in the U.S. There's a lot of risk. And the debt that is potentially to blow up in the U.S. shale sector could be greater than what happened to the Lehman Brothers. This is a huge risk. And at the same time, they're trying to distract things with Ukraine. Ukraine is really an insignificant. What does EU get? It's the breadbasket of Eastern Europe. There's not much going on there other than major debt. Ukraine owes over $18 billion to Russia. So there's a lot of problems. I see worse controversy, more death, more wars, more battles in the Middle East. I see Eastern Europe getting worse. And more importantly, the emerging markets are working together, supporting Putin. Look what China's doing against the Western philosophy. So there really is a battle between the old world order and the new world order. And right now, it's the new world order that is winning.
So when you say new world order, you mean the people that run the U.S., England, Europe, you're saying they're winning?
No, actually, if you look at what's going on with China, they are backing the Russians.
So you're saying that's the new world order? Is
Correct.
That new world order they're calling for?
That's right, the emerging markets, because they want the lifestyle that the West is taken for granted, and they are going to work together against this. And, you know, really 1/3 of all of America's debt is owned by China, and China does not play by, you know, the UN's rules. If you look at all of voting on the UN, they've always backed Russia. Where's India here? There's a reason why Obama's putting so much time into India. Historically, India is going to align themselves up with Russia. Who's really supplying the military of India? It's Russia. China, Russia, India. The emerging markets are working together against the forces of Europe, Western Europe, and America. And right now, if you see, Ukraine is a good example of what's going on. You know, really who's winning here? The Russians are winning in the Ukraine.
Let me raise this point. We see mainstream articles in The Guardian out of Davos where George Soros is running around with his minions saying, you better give $100 trillion to the IMF and World Bank to help poor people. There's going to be a global uprising against wealth. And the billionaires are running off the Cook Islands and New Zealand and other areas, building armored redoubts and private long airstrips and admitting it's because of this. But then meanwhile, Soros is trying to stir up civil unrest everywhere. What do you think's behind that?
Well, there's always an agenda. Where are his investments going? You know, there's no secret that he was the funder of the Orange Revolution, the Rose Revolution in the early 2000s against Russia. This time is a bit different situation. The Russians are working together with China, and their forces are going to be working against that. So Soros has his agenda where his investments are. You know, no one's asking, is he trying to protect his investments? You know, there's no secret that Soros has been a big investor in Ukraine. He's potentially there to lose billions of dollars, so he's trying to use the government's money to bail out his own investments. So there's a lot of things behind the scenes that we don't see. Again, in the Middle East.
Well, that's right. I mean, he called for a Marshall Plan, tens of billions of dollars to be given basically directly to him.
Exactly. It's the American taxpayer that is funding his investments.
Well, I mean, I agree with you that up until about 6 months ago, Putin was beating the West. And again, I'm not lionizing him, but Putin's not here running things, trying to take my guns and running ads everywhere saying fathers are bad. I mean, we got a really sick elite, make no mistake. But I'd take the real American system any day over what Russia's got. So I'm not rooting against America. I'm just here looking at the tea leaves. But now since the Saudis and others slashed oil prices, or I know you're an expert on energy, so break that down for us, it seems like it's really hurting Russia, hurting the ruble. I mean, in a football game, it looks like the Devil Patriots are coming back a little bit.
Well, exactly. And what's key to understand here for Russia, why they are going to survive here, first of all, they're the world's largest crude oil producer, but they produce in rubles and they sell in euros and US dollars. So they won't experience Dutch disease. When you're a petrostate, when you're a real producer of oil, the worst thing you want is a decreasing commodity price and a strengthening dollar. So I will argue that the Bakken and the Eagle Ford are experiencing Dutch disease here because their costs are in US dollars and they sell in US dollars. So what's this all about is international market share. You got the Arab Gulf states, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, UAE, they are major producers and they're trying to increase their market share. Russia's a major producer, they're trying to increase their market share. And then the US shale sector has been hugely successful.
They're trying to bankrupt that.
Exactly. And this is a war against the U.S. shale sector. I put an article out that OPEC declared war on U.S. Thanksgiving Day, where all the analysts expected OPEC to cut production. I said, no way. They are not going to cut production because they're declaring war on America because America was the largest consumer of the OPEC oil, but now they're a competitor against OPEC.
The U.S. starting 2 years ago is the biggest producer in the world. And for those that don't know, this is in The Economist, this is in the Financial Times that are establishment mouthpieces. They admit Saudi Arabia and OPEC are waging war on us, just as they are on Russia. That's a perfect example of globalism. You think America against Russia? No. Or you think America against Russia or EU? The EU's getting hurt. The people are getting hurt by what's hurting Russia. This only helps a few insiders having all this unfold.
That's right. And you know what no one wants to talk about, Alex? Where did Saudi Arabia, before they saw the collapse in oil, they took billions of dollars positions on the short of oil. They shorted American companies. They shorted the U.S. production. And they made billions of dollars on the decrease of price of oil. How come no one's talking about that?
It's amazing. Establishment publications admit it, but, these average people out there, hurt Russia. It doesn't help anybody for a major country to do bad, folks. That ends up pulling everybody down. Let me ask you this. Seeing this global recessionary trend intensify, are you worried about deflationary or inflationary? And do you agree that Russia having trouble will hurt Europe and then ultimately pull down the Middle East and then the U.S.? I mean, I see this as a trigger event.
Alex, I think currently we are in a deflationary resource environment, and deflation is the worst thing for country planners because when you have less money to play with, you can't cover up. Look at the Arab Spring. What did Saudi Arabia do to prevent any revolutionary? They just created a lot of social program spending. That ends in a deflationary market, and deflation is very bad. What results from a deflationary environment is more global conflict, and that's what we see in Europe. That's what we see in the Middle East, and right now we haven't seen it yet in the U.S., but with all of these job layoffs that are going to come in the high-paying jobs of the Bakken, we are in a new and deflationary environment, which means more crises globally are going to occur. More battles, more wars, more deaths.
Energy battles. I mean, you see Russia now moving into the North Pole. We'll discuss all this and more. Then your phone calls are coming up. The book available at caseyresearch.com or colderwar.com. The Colder War by Marin Katusa. I'm Alex Jones with Infowars.com because there is a war on for your mind. That's the whole point.
This hour brought to you by InfidelBodyArmor.com. When it hits the fan, don't be left without the body armor that will save your life. With prices starting at just $374.99 and ships free. Get yours at InfidelBodyArmor.com. Just won't quit.
Hi, Ted Anderson with Midas Resources. Is it time to convert paper 401ks and IRAs to solid gold and silver yet? Get our 10 Reasons book free. Call 800-686-2237. That's 800-686-2237.
Worried about getting sick and feeling terrible for days or even weeks? You need Immudyne for a healthy immune system. Why get sick and bother with products that just don't work? For just $1 a day, Immudyne is all natural and safe for all lifestyles. Call 866-257-8668 to buy now before it's too late, before you get sick. Or go to IMMUDYNE.com, Immudyne.com, or call 866-257-8668.
Interested in free Bitcoins? Stay tuned for more information. Are you worried about Big Brother watching your bank account? Frustrated with annoying fees? Concerned about unauthorized access to your account? What if there was a way to be your own bank? Bitcoin gives you a way to take back control of your money. The citizens of 2 large countries have already turned to Bitcoin when their economies collapsed. Unlike US dollars, there is a limited number of Bitcoins. The government cannot simply decide to print more. 8 million people are already using Bitcoin anonymously, with 90,000 retailers accepting them. Investors have put $4 billion into Bitcoin, with millions more being invested daily. BitRush.com is based in Texas and provides the most profitable way to own Bitcoins. To receive your own free Bitcoins, you can visit us at www.bitrush.com. bitrush.com. That's bitrush.com. Or call us at 1-800-200-8202. Again, that's bitrush.com or 1-800-200-8202 for free Bitcoins.
Silver has always been nature's very own antibiotic, and only one system allows you to generate an endless supply of natural silver solutions. Silverlungs.com. You'll find no wild claims or pseudoscience, just a lifetime of nano-sized pure silver solutions. The Silver Lungs generator allows you to make your own, so stop paying for silver solutions. The unique lung delivery system targets respiratory infections where other silver solutions simply cannot reach. See the Silver Lungs generator and lung delivery system at silverlungs.com. That's silverlungs.com.
Hey, sorry I'm running late. I had to stop and get my vitamins for the month.
I got mine in the mail yesterday from discountnutritionshop.com, so I'm here, totally on time.
Discountnutritionshop.com?
Yep, they're a lifesaver in more ways than one. They have all the nutritional supplements you need, the major brands you know, plus you can save up to 10%. Write down this number, 888-908-4548.
Huh?
888-908-4548. Or just go to discountnutritionshop.com.
Watch me.
Watch me. Watch me. I got it.
Walt.
Watch me. I got it.
Rich, John, Vince, Alan. I'm going to get to all of you coming up 8 after in the next hour. We're going to do 2 more short segments with Marin Katusa, Chief Energy Strategist, KC Research, talking to folks out there in the mining industry, in oil and gas. How long do they expect this OPEC Saudi-led war against other independent energy sectors to go? I know the Saudis have been funding the peak oil myth forever. I know they've been funding these attacks on any other exploration they don't control. And, I mean, I don't want to just demonize the Saudis, but, I mean, come on, the Saudi government is a joke. And the president bowing down to them is an even bigger joke. And it just never seems to end. Well, where does your gut tell you all of this craziness is going?
It's about market share, Alex, and I think it's going to get worse and it's going to be longer. What is going to win and what I believe is going to be prevail is the American innovation, the shale sector, the horizontal drilling, the fracking. That is an American innovation, and I think innovation through necessity is what's going to prove and end up becoming the victor here, because the difference is we can rely on our own oil and gas production, whereas the shaky house of Saud or Kuwait, these are basket cases. We're waiting to be toppled, and you can't rely on long-term supply, and that is why China is aligning itself with Russia. For example, they've doubled the amount of oil they're importing from Russia in just the last 4 months, because they know they can't rely on Middle East oil. So I think it's gonna, the Middle East the OPEC is going to flood the markets as much as they can. They're not going to cut back production. They're going to try to increase their market share and go against and create a war against the U.S. shale sector.
That's right. What do you expect to happen short-term, medium-term between the U.S. Being drugged into this EU operation? Because I think that was disinfo when that tape got released of them saying, forget the EU, we want this war. I mean, it's the EU and the banksters that want to carve up Ukraine. There's not even a lot of U.S. interest there.
Exactly, and I think this is just going to drag in, and it's going to be kind of a death spiral for America, because the Russians are ready to fight, and I'm not sure Obama understands that or understands the Russian mentality yet, and it's just going to get worse and it's going to be longer.
Well, the war planners certainly know that the Russians don't give up when it's their own land or their own area. I mean, it really makes me wonder about the arrogance of this elite.
Definitely, and we have to understand the West sees this as Putin invading eastern Ukraine. But to the average Russian, they believed Crimea was always theirs. They believe that eastern Ukraine is always theirs. To the average Russian, they believe Kiev is their historical founding city. So for the Russians, they're fighting for what they believe is theirs. The West, America, the leaders in America today don't understand that, and I don't think they're prepared for what the Russians are going to put up here. And remember, the Russians are not afraid of rattling the nuclear weapons, and Putin's talked about it publicly. And this guy is, he's ready to play Russian roulette. My question is the EU 28 ready to fight Putin? I don't think so.
Well, you know the Russians are going to start other stuff. They're going to start poisoning people. They're going to have asymmetrical sabotage stuff. I mean, if I was all these George Soros people, I mean, he's really got to be watching his back.
Oh, definitely, and not just George Soros. Look at all the short guys against the the Putinization of the resources. A big question I have is the West in America. 1 in every 10 homes in the last 25 years has been powered by Russian nuclear energy. This is a startling fact. What happens if Kazakhstan goes down? There's so many problems here in the world that our media is not truly covering, and I'd be very worried if I was a George Soros type of character.
Yeah. That guy just keeps getting away with everything. Every dog has his day. Sooner or later, what Johnny Cash says. I want to do 5 more minutes with you. I really appreciate you joining us. I want to walk through what you see as other big hot spots, what you see for the U.S. economy straight ahead, what's going on in the Canadian economy. Marin Katusa, Chief Energy Strategist, Casey Research, is our guest. The book is The Colder War. I'm Alex Jones.
Thank you for listening to GCN. Visit GCNlive.com today.
Year after year, we watch the threat steadily increase. And now, this winter has been the worst on record when it comes to our immune systems and health. For more than 2 years, InfoWarsLife.com has been watching this crisis intensify. And Ancient Defense Herbal Immunity Complex was our answer, using a proprietary process that takes ancient proven herbs and combines them with modern science. This powerful and affordable formula contains more than 14 key herbs and extracts, including echinacea, ginger root, elderberry, golden seal root, a proprietary yin chio formula, and many, many more. I take it, and so does my family. It's made in the USA, gluten-free, alcohol-free, no artificial flavors or colors, and not tested on animals. Take advantage of this introductory offer for Ancient Defense, normally $19.95, now only $14.95. That's 25% off. Visit InfoWarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139 to secure your Ancient Defense.
You're listening to The Alex Jones Show.
Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
Third hour, your phone calls coming up in the next segment. Then I'm going to get into some good news. State legislators considering more than 200 bills to block federal power. And going back to our guest, the author of The Colder War, Marin Katusa, I see globalist oppression, globalist domination forcing states, counties, cities, micro-regions around the world to just stop complying. I don't care how computerized their systems are. I don't care how pushy their surveillance is. I've noticed that in the face of some of the technocrats, personally, we've just operated how we want to and done what we want to. I think the big secret is folks don't realize the real power is in just doing it, to steal a phrase from Nike.
Definitely. Like, for example, look at towns in Canada, the Fort Mac, where all the oil sands, major layoffs, cutbacks in the billions of dollars. These are really high employed jobs, starting salaries for a truck driver at $35 an hour, that bam, those jobs are
Notice
done.
Canada suddenly isn't pro-carbon tax.
Exactly, because now they can't afford it. And you look at a country like even Saudi Arabia, where 50% of the males, the Shiite males, even though it's a Sunni majority, the majority in the oil-producing region are Shiites, and 50% of the ages between 20 and 35 are unemployed. That is a revolution just waiting for a catalyst. So you're going to see, as these higher unemployment rates come, you're going to see more revolutions, especially in the petrostates. Look at Venezuela. That's ready to pop. There's a lot of problems globally.
No kidding. And again, who do you see being the winner long term in this?
I believe that if the politicians can stay out of the way of the energy sector, it will be America, because we have the innovation, we have the intelligence, we have the entrepreneurship. The American dream is still alive in the oil patch. It's the politicians, it's the bureaucrats that get in the way with the red tape. And I would put North America, I'd put the Canadians with the Americans there. I think the biggest losers are going to be the monarchies and the old system, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait. They're waiting for a pin to pop that bubble.
Looking at Obama and the Western establishment, What's your view, or what intel do you have on whether the Saudis and OPEC did this on their own, or whether they had approval from the West to destroy the new energy sector led by shale?
I think that Obama definitely didn't prevent them from creating this war on the shale sector. You know, Obama's mandates really make no sense, where certain areas, when they were economic, he shut the window for exploration. Now in the Atlantic coast, he's opening up areas that are uneconomic. So Obama's completely oblivious to the economics of the oil sector. But Saudi Arabia really declared war on the shale sector, and it's about market share.
Spend a minute and a half on Keystone. I know you're an expert on that.
Yeah, well, Keystone, look, the key there is the Jones Act. They're going to try to switch in, which is going to be a big devastation for the U.S. Marine, the jobs. There's over $2 billion in jobs there that, you know, they're going to bring in Asian ships to ship the oil within the U.S. ports. But the problem with the Keystone XL is they're going to increase shipping oil via rail. That's very dangerous for the American people. Number two, rather than building new pipelines, they're going to depend on old pipelines that were built when Elvis Presley was singing Blue Suede Shoes. That's also a big risk. And now they've missed the window at $45 oil. You're not building any new pipelines.
So a recession in infrastructure building.
Exactly. You know, all the companies are pulling back on it, and they've missed the window.
And again, Warren Buffett is highly invested, along with George Soros, in the trains that are going to transship it out to the west coast of Canada instead of coming to us.
And not only that, Warren Buffett's the largest shareholder and the largest oil sands producer in Canada that's going to ship that Canadian heavy oil through the rail.
Hold on. Can you do 5 more minutes with us?
Sure, no problem.
Okay, we're going to come back. I want to give you the floor to talk about George Soros and Warren Buffett and how they killed Keystone so that they could then ship the oil to China. I mean, it's just, you want to know how economics really works, folks, how the screw jobs work. And it's always the same criminals. It's always the same turds. We're going to have a final talk with him, then go right to Walt and others that are patiently holding. Stay with us. I'm Alex Jones. For all of recorded history, civilizations around the world praised the health benefits of silver. At InfoWars Life, our mission is to bring you the highest quality, purest, cleanest, effective colloidal silver on the market today for the lowest price available. You don't have to be a doctor to know. The fall and winter months are the most dangerous time of year in North America when it comes to you and your family's health. InfoWarsLife.com is very excited to announce our biggest run yet of Silver Bullet colloidal silver, exclusively available at InfoWarsLife.com. Now, InfoWarsLife.com has taken colloidal silver to the next level using a cutting-edge technique that is free of toxic artificial additives. Now more than ever, it's important to stock up on high-quality Silver Bullet from InfoWarsLife.com. No survival chest is complete without Silver Bullet. Secure your Silver Bullet today at InfoWarsLife.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139. Silver Bullet.
The average person's life is filled with unexpected challenges. Unlock the energy it takes to defeat these daily beasts with super male or super female vitality, specifically designed to assist the body in regulating proper hormone balance to create superior vitality in males and females. Supercharge and conquer your world at InfoWarsLife.com or call 1-888-253-3139.
The government's Department of Homeland Security is buying up loads of ammo. At the same time, they're restricting civilians' rights to own and purchase firearms. Can you put 2 and 2 together? Infidel Body Armor can stop every round, including hollow points and .308 sniper rounds, is reasonably priced and fully legal. But for how long? Go to InfidelBodyArmor.com, spelled INFIDEL bodyarmor.com. Infidel Body Armor. Just won't quit.
Year after year, we watched the threat steadily increase. And now, this winter has been the worst on record when it comes to our immune systems and health. For more than 2 years, InfoWarsLife.com has been watching this crisis intensify. And Ancient Defense Herbal Immunity Complex was our answer, using a proprietary process that takes ancient proven herbs and combines them with modern science. This powerful and affordable formula contains more than 14 key herbs and extracts, including echinacea, ginger root, elderberry, golden seal root, a proprietary yin chio formula, and many, many more. I take it, and so does my family. It's made in the USA, gluten-free, alcohol-free, no artificial flavors or colors, and not tested on animals. Take advantage of this introductory offer for Ancient Defense, normally $19.95, now only $14.95. That's 25% off. Visit InfoWarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139 to secure your Ancient Defense.
Take you live to the Central Texas Command Center and the heart of the resistance. It's Alex Jones.
And Marin Katuso doing another 5 minutes with us. The colder war, how the global energy trade slipped from America's grasp. Can't wait to read this book. I've only scanned over it. Very informative. And he is the chief energy strategist for KC Research, also the leader and owner of one of the largest copper mines in Canada. One of those evil entrepreneurs that actually goes out there and explores and builds things. How horrible. You're just supposed to fly around in jumbo jets at taxpayer expense with red carpets to give speeches about how poor people need to be more poor for the earth. So Marin is our guest for a few more minutes. Then we're going to go directly to your phone calls and a bunch of really important news I haven't gotten to yet. But looking at this, and looking at the Keystone Pipeline, it's a microcosm that they've spent better part of a decade trying to block its construction and then not letting it open, from Canada down into Texas to refineries. The feds under Bush and Obama have blocked opening in Corpus Christi and other areas. We haven't opened one new refinery in almost 30 years. This is the deindustrialization model where only select international ship zones can have new factories or facilities built, and those, of course, are tax exempt. And you've got the standard players like Warren Buffett and others with their tax-free foundations that own the railroads that would bring the oil to the West Coast to be sold to China and Japan, instead of bringing Canadian oil to the United States and to the Gulf of Mexico to ship the oil to the world. And in almost every case, our government, bipartisan, chooses the path that doesn't let America have any jobs. So I guess we'll just go be on welfare or have a government job or an entertainment job. They don't want us having infrastructure. Another great example was Pachauri, the head of the UN Climate Bureau, would openly lobby to have British steel mills shut down. And then the last one that they shut down was moved to India, where he and his son owned it. So people ask, why are all these rich people for this? Because they can pick winners and losers. They can shut off their competition. And there's countless examples of this, but Congress could investigate Warren Buffett. Congress could stop this. This is a national security issue when you've got a legal, lawful, safe, new pipeline compared to the old ones, much safer, and they're trying to shut it off. We're trying to shut off our coal plants. It's a bunch of rich insiders all day long trying to suppress everyone's industry but theirs. But notice, Warren Buffett could have been involved in a Keystone Pipeline and made money bringing oil to America. There is a fundamental hatred of this republic because they hate our great-grandparents. They hate the people they couldn't control. It's about dominating America, and these elites want to have fights with people that are already dead. Even though they run this country, they instinctively hate the West and want to destroy it. That's my view on this. Give me your take on it, Marin, and then I want you to break down the details of the Keystone Pipeline and why people like Warren Buffett killed it.
Well, Alex, you bring up some great points here. For example, let's take Warren Buffett. Not only is he the sole owner of Burlington or Santa Fe, which brings all the oil out of the oil sands into the U.S. to the north, to the west, to the east. But more importantly, you know, there's this misconception that this Canadian oil is so dirty and it's bad. But why is Warren Buffett, the American legend in investing, one of the largest shareholders of the largest oil sand producing company called Suncor? And yet, you know, he's quietly moved in there and become a major shareholder, and that oil now is controlled through the shipping of him. And isn't it convenient that the pipeline isn't built, because he wouldn't have as much control in his railways wouldn't be supplied. Now, the growth of the rail, shipping oil via rail has increased by over 20 times since Warren Buffett bought the railway. Is it a coincidence? Hell no. Number two, you look at George Soros, he's trying to be seen as a renaissance man globally. He has quietly built up a position in the largest unhedged U.S. uranium producer. Now, that doesn't really fit his image, but yet now he's getting into the U.S. uranium sector through Uranium Energy Corp, and now he's become one of the major shareholders in that company. So these guys have an image that they portray in public, but what they're doing with their dollars is very different, and they build up it quietly. So that's something that's really important to understand.
And what's important is they use their political control to then manipulate and not let their competition operate in the market.
That's right. It's very un-American what's going on here, especially with the Keystone XL, which is, it's not only environmentally safe for the environment, for the people, it makes all the sense economically, it's all high-paying jobs, everything about it makes sense. And most importantly, let's get rid of the riskiest way to ship oil is via rail. Okay, it's 30 times more likely to have an accident shipping oil via rail than a pipeline. And let's get rid of these old pipelines that were built before the 1960s. They were never designed to still keep control of moving the oil through these old pipelines.
And I was about to say, you can track this, though. It's the same usual suspects, Soros and others, that are financing the well-meaning Hollywood people that go and tie themselves to the pipelines and say, don't build them, it hurts the earth, oh, you're going to kill the caribou, oh, you're going to kill this and that, when those pipelines are just incredibly safe and good compared to trains.
Not only that, Alex, I find it shocking how Qatar, okay, the world's largest LNG producer, financed the Hollywood movie called Broken Promises, which is anti-U.S. shale development. It's mind-boggling to me that they even allowed to do this, and it's mind-boggling to me that Gazprom, the world's largest gas producer, is telling Europe and America that shale gas is bad. Come on, let's really look at the facts here, that Qatar really cares about America's environment. Hell no, they don't want the U.S. Shale gas eating into their international market share. That's what it's about. But the propaganda coming through Hollywood is just creating lies for the people.
Amazing. Anything else we should know dealing with pipelines? Because it's not just these pipelines being shut down. And you just mentioned how we're about to lose contracts for U.S. ships to carry the oil up and down the rivers. That'll be given to Chinese companies. And this country's being sold out right now.
Alex, I think what you're doing is where it starts. Just keep bringing the truth to people, and eventually the truth will prevail. Stick with the American innovation. We will do well. It's going to be a battle, but we will win.
All right, folks, you can find the book available at caseyresearch.com or colderwar.com. Thank you so much for the time, Mr. Katusa.
My pleasure. Anytime, Alex.
All right, there he goes. I'm going to go right to your calls, Walt and others like John that have been patiently holding. Then I'll get to all this other news. More snow forecast for the East Coast. New York Times said no more snow in the East last year. Said the end of snow was the headline. Also, Obama's goal to destroy ISIS, unrealistic, unattainable, Gates says. Well, of course not. They've funded the stinking thing. And then state legislators considering more than 200 bills to block federal power. That's some good news. Don't play Lord of the Rings at school and imagine your ring makes you invisible. You might get kicked out of school or arrested. Right now, because we're such a free country. Walt in Michigan, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, Alex. How are you doing today?
Good. Thanks for holding, brother.
Okay, I want to read something that was printed in 1897 by ex-Secretary of the Navy Richard Thompson about the breaking down of the family unit.
Yes.
It's been going on a long time. This is what he said. It's only a couple sentences. Apart from this governing authority, universal equality prevailed. The principles of socialism or communism, very much as now understood, governed all the reductions. Guess where that was at, Alex?
I don't know.
That was in Paraguay. That was in Paraguay from 1600 to 1756, and the reductions were ruled by the Jesuits.
Wow, do me a favor. Read to me that quote again.
Apart from this governing authority, universal equality prevailed. The principles of socialism or communism, very much as now understood, governed all the reductions. And it's on page 175, and the rest of the sentence is on page 176, where it says they had everything in common. And men and women were equally trained to become experts. And they separated men, women, and children and indoctrinated the children separate from their parents, and the priest became the parent. And they
yes, I'm aware that in plantations in the Caribbean and Central and South America, as carried out by the Catholic Church at that time, that the models that we see in the Great Society and the rest of it today even go back to ancient Roman systems of control on plantations. You have the Spartacus, uprising and the rest of it against that. That's a real uprising that actually happened, folks. It's not just a Stanley Kubrick movie. And yes, to end the family unit with the plantation slaves, they didn't call them slaves, they just were slaves. They would then have men in one area, women in another, and children in another, just as North Korea does. So this is a model of enslavement that's been used for thousands of years.
There was a book written by Sir Thomas More, M-O-R-E, who was beheaded for his treason in England. He was a Jesuit coadjutor that worked with the Vatican to get control of England. And he wrote a book called Utopia that was used by the Jesuits to control 330,000 Guarani Indians for over 150 years. It took two combined armies from Portugal and Spain to take the Jesuits out of power in Paraguay. It took them over 2 years to do it. And then Pope Clement XIV outlawed the Jesuit order because of their corrupt activity in 1773.
No, I knew that, and you're not supposed to have a Jesuit as the Pope either. Again, I'm not a Catholic basher. It's a very diverse group of people, but there's no doubt that this new Pope, I mean, might as well be, Lenin or something. I mean, it's just unbelievable. I mean, and look, the stuff he's saying is basically the opposite of the last Pope, so I don't want to hear all this business that I'm just bashing popes here. I mean, this guy is really pushing it, and he's an admitted socialist, Jesuit, Leninist, Marxist. God help us. I mean, it's just on every front, and you got the Protestant churches pushing the same garbage. I mean, evil is making its move. That's all I know. And I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah, I was familiar with, I've been down to some of the missions in San Antonio and read about stuff down there. It's pretty much the same deal.
Attention Alex Jones listeners. When you're on the road or have limited data or Wi-Fi, now you can listen to Alex Jones unfiltered and untapped at no extra charge on this non-federal phone number, 1-605-562-5136. Try it now to listen to Alex Jones 24/7 at no extra cost or data charges. These are not on federal lines. These are lines located on Indian reservations off the grid. Call 1-605-562-5136. No smartphones or internet needed. To hear Alex Jones untapped and off the grid, just call 1-605-562-5136.
You ever hear about Ghost 80% AR-15 rifle kits? At Guns80.com, they are the 80% specialists, helping to protect our privacy. Look, there are forces out there right now trying to register guns for future confiscation. UN treaties threatening our Second Amendment and our freedom. You need a Ghost AR-15. Get it at Guns80.com. Call 844-2GUNS80. That's 844-248-6780. Own an AR-15 today and keep it a secret. Go to Guns80.com. That's Guns80.com. 844-2GUNS80.
Year after year, we watch the threats steadily increase. And now, this winter has been the worst on record when it comes to our immune systems and health. For more than 2 years, InfoWarsLife.com has been watching this crisis intensify. And Ancient Defense Herbal Immunity Complex was our answer, using a proprietary process that takes ancient proven herbs and combines them with modern science. This powerful and affordable formula contains more than 14 key herbs and extracts, including echinacea, ginger root, elderberry, golden seal root, a proprietary yin chio formula, and many, many more. I take it, and so does my family. It's made in the USA, gluten-free, alcohol-free, no artificial flavors or colors, and not tested on animals. Take advantage of this introductory offer for Ancient Defense, normally $19.95, now only $14.95. That's 25% off. Visit InfoWarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139 to secure your Ancient Defense.
American gardeners and fellow patriots, make the right choice
choice with your money, time, and your family food supply. Choose 100% pure heirloom seeds in the Survival Seed Vault from MyPatriotSupply.com. Why spend more? The Survival Seed Vault from MyPatriotSupply.com is only $37.95 and includes 20 varieties of pure, hardy, easy-to-grow heirloom seeds. Yes, only $37.95. That's 70% less than our competitors. You could buy 3 Survival Seed Vaults for less than one of theirs. The Survival Seed Vault from MyPatriotSupply.com includes detailed planting and seed-saving instructions and ships same day. Plus, all orders over $49 ship free. MyPatriotSupply.com is American-owned by patriots like you, passionate about freedom and preparedness. Call now, 866-229-0927. That's 866-229-0927. Or discover more emergency preparedness items when you order at MyPatriotSupply.com. Choose the original. Choose the Survival Seed Vault at MyPatriotSupply.com.
Worried about getting sick and feeling terrible for days or even weeks? You need Immudyne for a healthy immune system. Why get sick and bother with products that just don't work? For just $1 a day, Immudyne is all natural and safe for all lifestyles. Call 866-257-8668 to buy now before it's too late, before you get sick. Or go to IMMUDYNE.com, Immudyne.com, or call 866-257-8668.
We the people grow cotton, weave fabric, engrave ink, embed strips and fibers to protect from counterfeit and carting to a private bank, having it lent back at interest, forcing taxes to service debt. This capitalism, or was Jefferson correct when stating a central bank issuing the public currency is a greater menace to the liberties of the people than a standing army? Ted Anderson, I'm placing a free silver dollar in a book that explains our monetary system. Call for your copy, 800-686-2237. It's time to understand the system. Call 800-686-2237. That's 800-686-2237.
There have been a lot of different systems throughout civilization to control populations and turn humans into nothing but barnyard animals. We're only taught in the United States about black people being slaves, because that's just a nice new way to divide and conquer. And while you're busy focusing on that, having hundreds of textbooks on that, there's no textbooks out there on global slavery, human management, systems of control. This broadcast is here to try to get people to be aware of these systems of control so that you're aware of it. And when you see feminism pushed everywhere, it's men against women, so that women think they get ahead by men not getting ahead. They don't want you thinking in a win-win mentality. This is the essence of these parasites. And look at this article. All new female Ghostbusters cast chosen. Well, great. If you had a hit movie, a show like Charlie's Angels that was originally about women, imagine if they came out with a new thing like Charlie's Angels and it's all guys. No, the message is it's bad that you had a male cast. Of course, in the movie orbited around Sigourney Weaver. As if a movie, and I see these articles admitting that there's all this pressure to make sure in the rating system that you have women as the heroes. I mean, women are already heroes in a bunch of stuff. But the point is that it's so that women, it's like different black groups wanting to have more black movies win Oscars. I mean, as if that's the only world out there, that in the entertainment you've got to, I mean, if people go out and see movies that are the types they like, you'll see more of those movies. It isn't, oh, let's put a whole cast of women in. In fact, I predict this Ghostbusters movie gets hyped, gets pushed, and that it's not a tenth as successful as the original. Because I know these women that are these people aren't funny. They're not as funny as the cast of Ghostbusters. I'm sorry. But there's an example of just everything is about feminism. Everything is about race, because it doesn't matter. It's a distraction. Well, the real world is Warren Buffett shutting off a pipeline so he makes billions of dollars a month off of it, off shipping it by train. That's the real world. People are like, I don't care about that. I don't own trains. Well, you pay for the fuel, Dumbo. You're like, well, it's pretty low right now. Not when they're done with this oil war. It's going to be triple. Our forebears weren't perfect, but they were into how things worked, and they didn't like being cheated. and they sat around reading the newspaper, having discussions about what they were going to do. They got mad when somebody tried to cheat them. And they built a powerful civilization because they weren't chumps. We are building a civilization that I call chumpdom, schmuckdom, where you can go out in California and get every person you talk to sign a petition. That wasn't edited, folks. That's who he talked to make someone making $80,000 a year pay for their free veterinary bills, as if it's going to be free. They smile and go, you mean I get it free? Yeah, I want that. How sick is that? How free? Hey, sign this petition and we'll give you your neighbor's television. It's the same thing. Rich in Oregon. Then we're going to go to John, Matt, and others. Go ahead. You're on the air, Rich.
Hello, how are you today, Alex?
I'm good, brother.
Hey, I got a statement to make to you about Super Bowl. What's wrong with Super Bowl? You know what? They should have it 2-3 times a week. That way we could all be spectators, you know, like we're supposed to be. You know, we could all build big fences in our backyards where nobody can see over, not even drones coming in. And what's wrong with learning how to run like females, you know, or be a female if that's what you want to be? I mean, always could fit you, I'm sure. You know? I just stay here and tell everybody about Alex Jones. That's a little humor, by the way.
Oh, I understand, brother.
I stay here and tell everybody about Alex Jones, and you can't get anybody. I've got 3 people to share my account with me in the last year because everybody's too busy. You know, nobody wants to hear the truth. Well, you know what? I'm out here in North Dakota. I've been out here for a year working in the Bakken, and I can tell you it has really slowed down. I went from $400 or $500 a day down to barely $2.
And that's going to have a chain reaction throughout the economy. They're saying this oil bust may push us into a depression.
Well, I'll tell you what, dude, I don't know what, you know what, the prices haven't went down.
Well, I know, especially up there, it's harder to ship the stuff in, even though you're bringing it out raw. It's getting refined, and by the time they bring it back to you, it's high. Because you know how they're bringing it to you by rail. An old Buffett boy brings most of it in, so he makes all that money off everybody. It's all a big joke. Anything else, Rich?
Yeah, we need to keep Keystone out because we have a way to get rid of the oil out here, and you know what? Then it wouldn't be $28 a barrel. Hey, thanks. God bless you.
God bless you, brother. More calls coming up. Stay with us.
We're on the march. The empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
Year after year, we watched the threats steadily increase. And now, this winter has been the worst on record when it comes to our immune systems and health. For more than 2 years, InfoWarsLife.com has been watching this crisis intensify, and Ancient Defense Herbal Immunity Complex was our answer, using a proprietary process that takes ancient proven herbs and combines them with modern science. This powerful and affordable formula contains more than 14 key herbs and extracts, including echinacea, ginger root, elderberry, golden seal root, a proprietary yin chio formula, and many, many more. I take it, and so does my family. It's made in the USA, gluten-free, alcohol-free, no artificial flavors or colors, and not tested on animals. Take advantage of this introductory offer for Ancient Defense, normally $19.95, now only $14.95. That's 25% off. Visit InfoWarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139 to secure your Ancient Defense. Used since before the days of the Roman Empire to support the body's natural systems and enhance overall health. Introducing the new InfoWarsLife.com Oil of Oregano formulation, a highly advanced nutraceutical form of this key herb that has been traditionally used by civilizations for thousands of years to promote health. We have now procured the most high quality and potent forms of oregano oil on the market, sourced from top leading manufacturers to ensure a concentrated level of bioactive ingredients. Extracted directly from the wild herb and sealed in easy-to-use capsules, you will no longer need to endure the burning of liquid oregano on the tongue. Wild crafted from the Mediterranean oregano species that experts agree is one of the most powerful and most challenging to acquire. This winter season, it's more important than ever to secure this true form of oil of oregano. Now available in our limited first run at InfoWarsLife.com. That's InfoWarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139. When cells become toxic, they die early and aging sets in. No one has put together a formula that focuses directly on brain health, nerve growth factors, and optimizing your cellular energy at the same time. Just one of the key compounds, BioPQQ, is backed by major clinical studies. You want the best that's out there at the lowest price anywhere? We now have the synergistic solution. Secure your DNA force today at InfoWarsLife.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139.
The average person's life is filled with unexpected challenges. Unlock the energy it takes to defeat these daily beasts with super male or super female vitality, specifically designed to assist the body in regulating proper hormone balance to create superior vitality in males and females. Supercharge and conquer your world at InfoWarsLife.com or call 1-888-253-3139.
You could accept the fact that this city is headed for a disaster of biblical proportion.
What do you mean, biblical?
What he means is Old Testament, Mr. Mayor. Real wrath of God type stuff.
Exactly.
Fire and brimstone coming down from the skies. Rivers and seas boiling.
40 years of darkness, earthquakes, volcanoes.
The dead rising from the grave.
Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
I have sworn upon the altar of God eternal hostility against every form of tyranny over the mind of man. Thomas Jefferson. Live from Austin, Texas, broadcasting worldwide, it's Alex Jones.
You know, Katy Perry is a listener of this radio show. At least she was. Russell Brand has talked about that on air. Well, I've talked to her dad, who's also a listener and been on the show. I got to know him through Dave Mustaine, who's friends with him. He said, you know, her dad listens, and they've listened, and ended up talking to Russell Brand one time when he was here in Austin. We were visiting, and he said, thank you very much, Alex. You did help me wake me up a bit, and I do listen, and listened back when I was with Katie some, but I doubt she listens now. So when I say all this, we're reaching out and speaking to these people directly. And Katy Perry told Rolling Stone she'd like to join the Illuminati. We've got a new article up on Infowars.com. Subliminal Super Bowl Illuminati secrets revealed. Pop singer has admitted to selling soul to Satan. That's not Katy Perry. That's another one that we've got linked there in the article. I mean, this is definitely occultic. You've got the checkerboard of the high-level Masonic stuff. You've got the goddess riding in, the fire goddess riding the big lion. It ties into some of the highest levels of Masonic Masonry. We have links to the Encyclopedia of Freemasonry. And the point is, every major pop star now does similar rituals. Or Madonna last year, where it was even more occultic, and she sits on the throne and is wearing all this Egyptian symbolism. When you study it, they believe in the law of intention, or the secret, that whatever you believe ends up happening. And that happens to a certain extent if you then put it into action. But when they get hundreds of millions of people watching something, out of it they want a goal. And they have themes. And this theme was the goddess and the empowerment of women and women on top of things. But that was only at a subliminal, subconscious level. The subconscious understands what these messages are without even having to decode them. So that people would then buy whatever else was being said openly or subliminally, which is joined with the New World Order. It will empower you. It will give you salvation. When it's not going to do that. So whether it's the Grammys or the Emmys or the Super Bowl, they're almost all occultic now. And it's all basically symbolizing, you know, where she flies around as a sperm. It's a star with a tail, then lands in the big egg, and then out of it comes a big stage. It's saying she's creating, she's procreating, she's building a world. And at a fundamental level, we see a beautiful young woman, the image of the goddess, the image of the virgin, the image of the whore, all wrapped together. It's extremely powerful. And all they're doing is programming archetypes here. And then you see the commercials. Put your daughter in the military. Dads aren't good because they work. You know, being male and being strong hurts females. I mean, it's just a very toxic assault. Extremely toxic assault. But there's a good breakdown of it at Infowars.com. Whoever wrote it didn't put a name on it. Did a Don write this? Or was it Watson? I want to find out who wrote this. It was a Don, I guessed it. Okay, I can tell his writing. Subliminal Super Bowl Illuminati secrets revealed. Pop singers admitted to selling soul to Satan. You might want to go read it. And the message is, men are just automatons. Men are just robots, chess pieces, and the goddess riding the great beast will control you. And in the truth, it'll just target women first. The system hates creation. The system hates life. Women are who the system's targeting. First and foremost. And men have turned the world over to evil. Men have let other wicked men, sorcerers is what they are, putting the public under a trance, a high-tech mind control trance, a spell. Good men have allowed these people to take over. And if you're a Christian, a conservative, a libertarian, a gun owner, an anti-Federal Reserve activist, who is the Pentagon trained to fight? Us. Now, the military's really woken up because they're like, why are we trained to take on the good guys? They get it. But this is a world where they don't want women to be women, men to be men. And they claim that if you just exist as a heterosexual male or you exist as a heterosexual healthy female, that hurts other people that aren't into that, and that you need to accept it and promote it, or you're hurting them. The truth is, you've always had people that were, quote, genetically or naturally attracted to the same sex or whatever. And historically, when societies are about to collapse, that intensifies. For whatever reason. But they're artificially pushing it. They're artificially putting chemicals in food and water that are known to flip switches in the hypothalamus and other glands to make women hyper-feminine and desire women, and to basically make men desire men. The Pentagon was working on these chemicals and successfully developed what they call a gay bomb. And the media always attacks me on this when I talk about it because they know I'm hitting right at the heart of their program. Frogs, shrimp are becoming either asexual or bisexual. And the end goal is asexual. They don't want you to be sexual at all. Scientists developed gay bomb to make enemy soldiers stop fighting and make love. And you can spray these chemicals on a man, and within a few days, they will begin to smell the pheromones of other men, and it will trick them, and they won't know why they're attracted to men. I mean, this is chemical warfare, ladies and gentlemen. And just know you're under it. Be honest about it. So much of this stuff runs off that they're worried about frog populations collapsing because it's just devastating. And women, you should worry about being hyper-feminized because it makes your sexual organs accelerate their aging, sometimes at about 5 times the pace. Usually just a doubling. That's why you got 25-year-old women getting breast cancer at record levels, because you got the breast of an 80-year-old woman. Genetically, in the code. They still look just fine. Men's prostates, you're 50, you got the prostate of a 100-year-old man. Because these chemicals attack those tissues. Roundup grows cancers in them. You spray this stuff on frogs, folks, male frogs start humping each other. And they make all sorts of jokes. The Democratic Party runs stuff. MSNBC makes jokes out of it. It isn't funny. I'm going to tell the young Turks and people, it's not funny if your 14-year-old son gets testicular cancer. It's not funny if your 20-year-old daughter gets breast cancer. This isn't a game. This kills animals. Now, you may think a bunch of tumors growing all over you is cute. It's not cute. So we're getting jacked with. Get jacked with hard. Used to, puberty when women was average age 14. Now it's about 9. There are thousands of cases of 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds going into puberty. The doctors don't ever say, stop eating this, stop eating that, you know, what chemicals you're exposed to. They say, we're going to give your daughter chemicals to suppress her going into puberty. Now, you might want to find out why 4-year-olds are going into puberty. Or is it just easier to make a joke about it on MSNBC or Young Turks or whatever? Because it's not funny, okay? All of you laughing will be touched by this. Guaranteed. So go ahead and laugh your butts off, okay? Go ahead and laugh long and hard. Don't ever say you weren't warned. Let's go to John, and then we'll go to... No. First, I want to go to Ned in Oregon, listening on KMED 880 AM. KMED. I don't ever remember getting a call on KMED 880 AM. I know it's one of our affiliates. Where are you located, Ned? How are you listening?
I'm listening on AM radio, and I'm located in Southern Oregon, Medford area.
Well, please tell everybody about the show every day, brother.
I do. I tell everybody, especially the police department, fire departments, everybody that's higher up that is ignorant about what's going on. I've tried to enlighten the lieutenants and the higher people up that can push the information around at those levels, because I believe, like you said, that eventually those are going to be the trouble parts that's going to ignite maybe other problems down the road for the civilization.
Absolutely. Have you had any traction?
Yes. Oh, yes. I want to say that the police department I'm dealing with is the Central Point Police Department, and they are very hip people. They know about you, and they know what's going on.
Well, that's what I was about to say, though. That's what's incredible, and I'll let you get to your point. I don't know what it is. That's why I said we shouldn't fight with the police, even though there's major problems. They are, I'm not going to exaggerate, 20 times easier to wake up than the general public, because they're in there. They know already a lot of this is true. Military, 20 times easier. And you have callers calling in going, nobody will listen to me. I guarantee you they're talking to a bunch of slobs. I mean, I'm not worried about people that want to suck their thumbs all day. You can knock the police, but at least they're out there engaging people. They're in the real world, and they're people that take action. They are ready to hear the truth. They usually already know what's going on, and more than we know sometimes. And so that's what I thought I'd hear you say, because that's my experience. No wonder George Soros wants us to start fighting with them, because if they can just get that animosity going, that piece of crap is going to win.
I believe so. I want to say one thing before I continue on here. I need to talk to somebody in your organization about the Emerald Tablets of Thoth by the Atlantean, by Doriel. I just finished reading this, and this explains a lot about the reptilian race, and I just need to express this to some people in your organization very quickly here before I get off the air. But I wanted to talk about basically, I just finished reading the Time Loop book by David Icke, Tales from the Time Loop, and in the appendix it talks about who really runs things, and he says that both the bar association throughout the world and, of course, all the legal systems, the money systems, everything is run by the Catholic Church, and the Catholic Church is the Church of Babylon, and I just wanted to pray, spend that along to you. I know you know probably a lot about that too, but I really need to talk to somebody off air about these Emerald Tablets.
Okay, I'll look into it. I've heard of that before, but I want to look into it more. Thank you so much. We'll put him on holding and tell John specifically when he wants to get across to us. Look, it's evil. It's systems of corruption. If you single out and say it's the Russians or it's the Catholics or it's the Americans or it's the blacks or it's the cops or it's the whites, there are good people in every organization and group out there, unless you're talking about, stuff like the Church of Satan or some pedophile group or whatever, really unsavory people that are openly into evil. It is good people not being involved and not standing up against garbage that allows evil to then take over every organization. That's all I'm getting at. Because there's a real theme here to either bash Jews or Catholics with some of the callers, and I just don't think it's productive. I mean, if you call in about the Catholics and bring up, the Jesuits running plantations, I've confirmed that. It's historically true. I'll cover it. And yeah, their type of leftist, liberation creates horrible slavery. I'm against it. Is there a big leftist movement in the Catholic Church? Absolutely right. There's a big right-wing movement as well. It's just things are complex. I just oppose socialism, fascism, centralization, tyranny, bullies, garbage, oppression. And then that's it. And then I can get people across the board to agree on that. The system wants us to choose groups. I'm just here to promote a culture of liberty. And then I think at the end of the day, we can really build a better civilization if we do that. Doesn't mean you have to agree with me. But thank you for spreading the word on 880 AM there. We've got over almost 180 affiliates, and that's commercial AM and FM stations. We've got over several hundred micro FMs that are out there across the country. We want to salute all of them as well, as long as they don't interfere with commercial broadcast. And people want to take action. You know, that's something a lot of people are doing is they're getting into little FM kits. They plug them into their internet. They stream the show. And, I mean, you know, even if you just do it on with a quarter watt or something to your neighborhood and put up signs, you'll get the whole neighborhood listening. It'll have such a big effect. They got little AM transmitters, you name it. It's really, really exciting what people are doing. Vincent in Mexico, thanks for holding. You're on the air.
Hey, Alex, what's going on, man?
Worldwide broadcast. How old are you, Vince?
I am 27 years old, 4 feet 8 tall, and proud info warrior.
Well, God bless you. What's on your mind?
So, first of all, I'm going to be on Jim Bill Stallings' show, which is it's the News Ugly show on Blog Talk Radio.
Okay, sounds interesting. Are you going to be covering politics or something?
Actually, I'm going to be talking about my experience with Child Protective Services. They are currently trying to, they threatened my cousin who lives with me for, to put me in jail basically for keeping my guns unlocked in the home. So they need to do a home visit and all this stuff. But anyway, I'm also going to be talking about that on Dan Bodondi's Truth Radio show.
Well, good.
Today.
We like Dan.
Yeah. And also,
you called in about the Super Bowl?
Yeah. I think Katy Perry is just out of her mind.
She's certainly a lovely lady.
She's just, I mean, and also the harlot on the lion is just like insane. It correlates with Illuminati symbolism, as well as there's a scripture in Revelation chapter 17, verse 3 and onwards.
The whore rides the beast.
Anyway, what's that?
And she's drunk on the blood of the saints. I appreciate your call. Matt in California, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hello, Mr. Jones. It's such a big honor for me to be calling you.
Honor to talk to you. Go ahead, Matt.
So I have to do what's right by God, and I know that the enemy is probably listening to me right now, and they probably know how
There's not really many of the enemy. They just keep everybody balkanized, but go ahead.
Okay, thank you, sir. So anyway, for any doubters out there who disbelieve that there's organized pedophilia going on, and possibly a satanic occult, ritual abuse. You know, a friend of mine at his home, we talk about these things. He showed me what he believed is photographic evidence of organized child pedophilia.
Well, we know what's going on, sir. There's thousands of cases of governments involved all over the world, the British royal family, you name it. And then the way the system works is, there was one case where somebody showed neighborhood teenagers My Bohemian Grove film, which has no profanity, nobody naked. It's got a mock sacrifice of a child in it, they do. They started a pedophile investigation of the guy, raided his house, and put him in jail for that.
This is an alert. If your business or church is building this year, you're about to pay more than you should. This could mean thousands of dollars more for your office, retail space, church, or warehouse. A General Steel building can save you as much as half the cost and time of similar conventional construction. And we're offering rebates of up to $20,000 to help you build today. Call General Steel for free information that could save you thousands. Call 866-91-STEEL. 866-91-STEEL. That's 866-917-8335.
A lot
lot of people's lives and bodies are out of balance. AlkaVision Plasma pH drops optimize pH level and get rid of harmful waste and acid. Just a few drops in water restores vibrance and energy and gets you back in balance. Now order 2 bottles and get $10 off your order. Sign up for monthly auto shipping and save 25%. Call 800-518-7615 or visit alkavision.com. Alkalize your body. Supercharge your health at alkavision.com.
Used since before the days of the Roman Empire to support the body's natural systems and enhance overall health. Introducing the new InfoWarsLife.com oil of oregano formulation, a highly advanced nutraceutical form of this key herb that has been traditionally used by civilizations for thousands of years to promote health. We have now procured the most high quality and potent forms of oregano oil on the market, sourced from top leading manufacturers to ensure a concentrated level of bioactive ingredients. Extracted directly from the wild herb and sealed in easy-to-use capsules, you will no longer need to endure the burning of liquid oregano on the tongue. Wild crafted from the Mediterranean oregano species that experts agree is one of the most powerful and most challenging to acquire. This winter season, it's more important than ever to secure this true form of oil of oregano. Now available in our limited first run at InfoWarsLife.com. That's InfoWarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of Slingbow. A new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
Hear that? That's the sound of a house being trashed while a gang of thieves ransack the place. And what they don't steal will be destroyed.
This year, resolve not to be the next victim of a break-in. Go to faketv.com and discover a device that creates the illusion someone inside is watching TV, even when you're miles away. Security is a mindset, and Fake TV should be part of your security solution. Be vigilant, but not fearful. faketv.com.
Well, I mentioned this, but we've got some good news. State legislatures are considering more than 200 bills to block federal land grabs, Obamacare, you name it. The 10th Amendment Center breaks it down. Very exciting that the states are starting to stand up. Continuing here, Obama came out last night and said, get your kids vaccinated. You should get your kids vaccinated. It's good for them. Really, it's good for them. That's why the insert says it can kill them or cause permanent epilepsy, narcolepsy, Guillain-Barré. I mean, they just lie and say, it's good. No, that's a load of bull. At least tell them the side effects. That side effects of the vaccines are good. What about the stuff in there on purpose? So let's go to that clip.
Do you feel there should be a requirement that parents get their kids vaccinated?
Measles is preventable. I understand that there are families that in some cases are concerned about the effect of vaccinations. The science is, pretty indisputable. We've looked at this again and again. There is every reason to get vaccinated. There aren't reasons to not get vaccinated.
Are you telling parents you should get your kids vaccinated?
You should get your kids vaccinated. It's good for them, but we should be able to get back to the point where measles effectively is not existing in this country.
All right, let's stop right there. Measles, some red spots and a fever. Whoop-de-doo. I mean, parents give so much Tylenol to their kids that they're sick for 2 weeks with a low-grade fever because you won't let them just get over it. Yeah, your kid's got 104 fever. Give them some Tylenol to control it. But if it's 101, let them have it. That's not rocket science. But notice, it's safe and effective. It's undisputed. It's undisputed global warming's real. It's undisputed the ice caps are going to melt. It's undisputed you can keep your doctor. It's undisputed raising the debt limit doesn't raise your debt limit. I mean, this is pure bull. But it's undisputed. We know it's been looked at. It's been looked at. You made a secret vaccine payoff group with secret courts to cover up all the carnage. They just sit up there going, oh, everything's fine. It's all a big confidence game. I'm in the Oval Office. Believe me. Don't believe all those doctors and people warning you. And now they're going into this full tilt push. I mean, Rob Dew did a report 2 weeks ago on this and another one. In mainstream news, they admit, we don't know why these are vaccinated people that have the measles. The vaccine's spreading it. We show the stinking insert. Another hoax. As measles cases spread in the U.S., so does anxiety. Oh, my gosh. I want to go to John in Mass because says he's a nurse. He wants to talk about bin Laden supposedly living for years in a cave on dialysis. If you believe that, you believe in Santa Claus. Try to go to Isaac and a few others in overdrive. Before I go any further, if you're listening to us on an AM or FM station, that's an epic issue. You could put up a billboard on your business. You could hand out cards to people. You could tell folks at the red light. You could tell your whole office to tune in. That's how we're going to save the country, is caring. The show has grown exponentially over 20 years to reach more than 20 million people a week one way or another because of you passing on the YouTube videos or telling Twitter and Facebook about it or telling your neighbors or getting copies of my films and handing them out to people. Intensify that effort. Get a PrisonPlanet.tv membership. 20 people can use the same membership. Get them to watch the Nightly News. Download the films or reports on disc. Give them to friends and family. That's how we defeat the globalists. We can do it. They're in trouble on many levels. We can turn this around. Regardless, it's good to be on the right side with your soul. And it's exciting to fight tyranny and very animating. This is the real game. So please go and become a PrisonPlanet.tv member. We've got basically half off right now. It's a little less than half off. That special's going to end tomorrow. It's a January special we do. We're already into February. PrisonPlanet.tv. If you have a membership, share it with friends and family. I want to thank you for that. Free shipping on all the water filtration systems is going to end tomorrow. I'm telling them, pull it tomorrow. And we've got a whole bunch of other specials and a lot of new items available at InfoWarsLife.com. The concentrated, super organic, Mediterranean type of oil of oregano out of more than 30 species. Our research shows it's the best. We have a free bottle available with Survival Shield of Ancient Defense. You really want to boost your immunity. InfoWarsStore.com, InfoWarsLife.com. That's it for the main transmission. Overdrive coming up with a couple calls. Nightly News tonight, 7 o'clock Central.
The Genesis Communications Radio Network.
What disaster is so powerful, it unleashes a chain of mass pandemics, economic meltdowns, and violent food riots, all at the same time? NASA has already set the countdown timer, and right now the 21st century apocalypse is less than 13 months away. Former CIA Director James Woolsey says 2/3 of U.S. population could perish. In a matter of seconds, the world as we know it will cease to exist. The world's economy will be wiped out. Mass riots will follow. Ancient diseases will reemerge. How will you shield yourself and your loved ones from this upcoming apocalypse? Go to darkestdays.info to find out proven methods of protecting yourself, your loved ones, and even your entire community when this worst-case scenario unravels. That's DARKESTDAYS.info. Darkestdays.info. Go there before this life-saving information becomes unavailable to the large public. Go to darkestdays.info now.
You're listening to The Alex Jones Show.
All right.
Fix bayonets.
We're in overdrive.
We are now entering overdrive with your host, Alex Jones, broadcasting live from the front lines. If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance.
All right, John in Mass, go ahead and tell your story. We'll go to Isaac and others. Thanks for calling.
Thanks for having me, Alex. I felt that since I'm home with pneumonia today, I thought I'd give your show a call. Just let you know, I've been discussing this matter with other nurses for quite a while. And it seems to us that a lot of us do not believe 9/11 just based on the fact that we find it impossible for a man to have dialysis in a cave for 10 years, both prior to 9/11 and after, without some sort of infection or death. I just feel
well,
like...
of course, the official story is a total fable. And he wasn't buried at sea and all that's come out. It's just so you're saying no one else you've talked to who works in that area says it's possible.
No, it's impossible. If you recall back in the 90s when Clinton had the chance to assassinate him in a hospital in the Middle East, he didn't do it main reason is that he was there is most likely because his accesses were failing him, which would lead me to believe that, barring some sort of infection, he never walked out of that place. I highly
yeah, and that's what CBS News reported months after Pachinik broke that on air.
Right, and I think it's very. I think, unfortunately, no one, obviously, in the official report or the official news reports that come up, no one ever focuses on that. And I think that's something that could really wake a lot of people up, especially in medicine. They see how fragile these patients are.
Well, I mean, sir, cell phones don't work, and I've done it scores of times above 3,000 feet. They claim a bunch of people made calls at 30-plus thousand feet without airphones. It's patent horse crap. The 2 airphone calls we have are, there's gas, we can't breathe, help us, Nothing about hijackers, nothing. They nerve gassed them, remote controlled them into the towers. I mean, and then, remember the Solicitor General's wife supposedly died, and she called him, and then the FBI went and checked, and they admitted, to their credit, he never called her. She never called him. It wasn't true. Absolutely. God bless you, John. Do a video on it. Speak out. I mean, you're just as smart as I am or smarter. All of you guys that have all the angles figured out, fight with me. And I mean, fight with me together. We can do it. Isaac in Oklahoma, thanks for calling. Go ahead.
Hey, Alex.
Hey, brother.
Hey, I was just listening to the show last week about, we were talking about the billboards.
Yes, sir.
And I was thinking of a way on the InfoWars store how we could donate, like, pretty easy. I was thinking on the checkout screen where, say you pick your product and there's apply coupon, maybe have a section that say make a donation for a billboard, and you put in however much.
You know what? Buckley said that, and a bunch of callers have said that, and a bunch of emails have come in. I just don't like asking for money. I like people to buy the products. It's how we fund ourselves. But you know what? I will put up Infowars.com, Seek the Truth billboards in the cities. In fact, we're going to put one up in Austin. And then if the money comes in, we could start doing it in cities that have affiliates, and then that way have the website and their call letters, and partner with those stations. By partner, they wouldn't have to pay any money. We would just do that for the station. And yes, that's how Clear Channel built their empire in talk radio, was with billboards. And organically, if the average billboard's about $3,000 for a pretty big one, if we could at checkout say make a donation to put up billboards of $1 to up to $100, that would be an awesome idea. And so what? So we will do it. Absolutely.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. All right. Well, thanks, Alex.
Thank you. Aaron and Slim and others, I'm out of time. I got to end it there. I'm going to be shooting a lot of special reports for the Nightly News and for the radio show. Because people really like the special reports I do, where I really document, and I mean, I always document, but I mean really neurotically pile on the evidence. We're going to be doing a lot of that. I'm going to be really intensifying that with David Knight and the rest of the great crew. I want to say fabulous job to the crew. I want to thank God for all the blessings. I want to thank you for all your prayers. You, the listeners, we couldn't do any of this without you, and I really appreciate you, and it's humbling the amount of support you put behind us. And when I meet you out on the street, it's wonderful.
This alert just came in.
Is buying up loads